Welcome back. For those that are new, welcome to Good Earners reviewing The Sopranos. And here on Good Earners, aka Transferring Cannolis, we like to talk about family, finessing, finances, and feelings in the world of Tony Soprano, bringing you a new perspective, a fly perspective, and a black perspective. And we're here to give you another great mother jumping episode. Fellas, how y'all doing?
Mother jumping is crazy.
It's wild, bro. That's Mo all day.
I wouldn't even say that, but it's so whack. But it's the fact that he said it was crazy.
Yeah, man. Doing well though, man. Doing well. Glad to be here with y'all this morning. Getting down to Sopranos, man. One of my favorite things of the week.
Same here, man. Happy to be here with you, brothers. Getting into it.
Yes, sir. Excited. It's Christmas, at least on this episode. Speaking of this episode, Spike Lee, what episode are we reviewing today?
Season 3, episode 10, To Save Us All from Satan's Power, Mo. It's getting close to Christmas time. Tony's making his list. He's checking it twice. Tony sees the ghost of Christmas past with the vision of pussy. He and the guys, they figure out when he flipped. Janice, she wants to have Christmas dinner at her house. She wants to fix the goose. Tony meets the Russians that may pop back up later. And the guys welcome run at Vesuvio's run stand. Tony catches Jackie in a compromising position, and he gives him some early Christmas presents. This is season 3, episode 10 of Good Earners.
All right.
Save us from Satan's power.
All right.
Hey, come on, real quick, man. Real quick. Can I just say?
Yeah, man.
Spike synopses are one of my favorite things about the show. The fact that you make those yourself and you don't use just something you find on the internet, man, that's one of my favorite parts. It always gets the rhythms rolling into the episode, man. I appreciate
that. I appreciate
you already
that.
know.
People definitely take it for granted to think it's so well put together. It sounds like he got it off a wiki.
When I first listened, I would have never known until he said it one episode, like some seasons back. I think maybe late in season 1 or whatever, but absolutely. Me say got him some early Christmas gifts, man. Get that nigga them hands.
I might have to say, can you give us the Spike synopsis so people know where it's coming from? Like
where it's coming from.
Put the producer tag on it. You know what I mean?
I respect that. Yeah, I respect that.
All right. So we open up. Tony's on the boardwalk. We hadn't seen this since the finale of Funhouse last season. We get Tony. He's staring off in the water. You know, he ends up having this flashback. And the flashback, the first thing we hear is O.J. Simpson's case, which is a great way to time reference where we are. We get Jackie April. It's good to see him. Big P is here. Good to see him. And Tony with the hair. What did y'all get from this interaction, from inside the cafe to them being on the boardwalk?
Listen, man, I'm going to tell y'all right now, I love this episode.
Oh, man.
I love, shout out to School, man. School says it all the time, man. Nostalgia is dangerous.
Oh,
it can really put you in a place to where, you out of touch with the present and what's going on. And you living in two alternate worlds in a sense. Mm-hmm. But going to Tony's introduction to this whole series, I feel like we're coming in at the end. Well, let's see what some of that middle to beginning looks like.
Yeah.
So we know Jackie, but Jackie was on his deathbed when we met him.
Mm-hmm.
So the fact to see him as acting boss, to know that, surprise, surprise, him and Junior had some kind of riff. Seeing Tony with hair, seeing Tony not being in charge, but being the guy, being Sil, pretty much. Yeah, exactly. Yeah. And then putting all these pieces together. I love the way that we got this kind of viewpoint of what the Sopranos, what Jersey looked like. Mm-hmm. Pre-1999, pre-Jackie, pre-Tony being in charge. And it makes a little bit more sense as to why Junior and Tony's beef at the beginning.
Mm-hmm.
Why Junior was on that. Like, I ain't gonna keep passing me up, dog.
Mm-hmm.
But I say all that to say, I love how they tie everything in. I love how us as an audience, we look at this and it's hard to, we're questioning, like, how y'all ain't see this with Pete? And that's obviously because we have so much more information as time's going on. Right. But it's very obvious that P's on some shit. You see the Boca, you see the back. They telling him, like, hey, if you need money, come to me. Don't move that H. It's too dangerous. They had it all laid out, man, and just going back and looking at their mistakes. But it was a great opening scene to take us back to better times and to tie into that whole holiday thing.
Agreed. The nostalgia was great here. It was great. Like you always say, Mo, you love the family stuff here. Going back in time, seeing Jackie be that nigga, like why people messed with him. So he was suave. The
Yeah.
Johnny Sack of New Jersey, he looked like.
Straight up, straight up.
Yeah.
Like Jackie was made for that role. So it's good seeing him there. Good
Yeah.
seeing Tony at the number 2. Just just being Tony Soprano. The thing what I would say about Pussy, love is blind. Like you said, Rich man, they should have known, but their love for Big P always kept them in the dark about it. Like we looking at it, and we've always known because that's how we were introduced to him. But I'm looking at them figuring it out. Like God, we were so blinded by his charisma, his personality, him being Big Pussy, that we didn't take the necessary precautions or use the usual checks that we do to make sure that everything was okay, with the exception of Paulie. Paulie never gave 2 fucks.
Oh yeah, I can't wait to get to that point. Yeah, bro.
Yeah.
Paulie was
the Stone Cold Gangster.
Let me ask.
But even I say that to say just real quick. I say that to even say when they did start to figure it out, it was Paulie who Tony put it on. Like,
oh yeah.
Again, because like as I said last week, Paulie is the original gangster here. Like it don't matter if we friends. We'll see later. It don't matter if I thought you was my mom's nigga. I got a code of ethics that I live by, and that's the main thing that drives my life. So when he put Paulie on it, and Paulie tried to pat him down in the whatchamacallit room, or excuse me, had him stripped down in the sauna or whatever, it was the right person for the job.
Wow, you're right. That's a great way to put it. I want to ask before I get, because I want to speak to the scene as well. How did you feel about these flashbacks, Spike? Because we know how you feel.
They weren't as bad because they're not as cartoonish or unrealistic. Okay. I don't like the unrealistic flashbacks, like just random shit happening and you can tell that it's a dream. These were good context flashbacks for me. Okay.
Because I have to say this is perfect when it comes to flashbacks, how they were weaving in and out without it having to necessarily be a Melfi session, him telling us and going into it. You know, I mean, the first time when they did it before, he was looking in the mirror and went back, but this feels perfect. You know what I mean? Like they're quietly taking us in and out. I mean, the flashback game on this episode by far is a master class.
I was gonna say, you know what's crazy? The director of this episode, Jack Bender.
Okay.
He went on to direct a lot of episodes of Lost. And when you talk about flashbacks,
that makes perfect sense.
What a pull!
It was. So it makes sense as to how well this worked, and especially it stands out in Sopranos as far as being a normal episode, even though you do have that flashback sequence, dream sequence, whatever you want to call it. And I think that ties in together. The fact that he's good at that. Jack Bender, man, shout out to him.
Hey man,
he made that shit legendary.
Bro, you getting filthy, bro. Don't get filthy. Like, you getting filthy with the pool, bro. You gotta stop that. I don't like that type of talk. I don't like that type of talk, bro. You can't do that. Like, whoa.
Were y'all fans of Lost?
Absolutely. That was my first taste of prestige TV. I think I told you that before. That was my first taste of this is high quality television. You know, and it meant a lot to me at that time, man.
I agree. One of the top moments in TV for me is that when Kate and Jack was on that bridge and she said, "We got to go back." And the nigga was like, "Wait, what? They ain't on the island no more?" I still remember that shit. Like yesterday.
The way to flip on.
He was like, "Yeah, it's like we got to go back." He was like, "Wait, what? I thought this was a flashback, nigga. This is a flash forward,
dude." They killed that. That. But to just wrap on this scene, it's good to see them. I like the Boca through line. You know, like I said before, the season 1, you know, that's consistent with the Boca episode where, you know, we found out Junior and Roberta had been going there for 16, 17 years. So that's consistent. P, that's why he wanted to whack P or Malanga. I don't know. We kept trying to figure out if there was 2 big P's or not, but he wanted to whack him, and this all kind of ties back into that storyline. That in at the end concept as well. So I love this. This opening was really good. The OJ Simpson line was really funny. Paulie comes up though. Should have fried him. Paulie pulls up, and Tony tells him that he's thinking about P. And Paulie pretty much like, I don't care at all about this dude. Like, he's a rat, and that's the end of it for me. Like, that's but then Paulie brings up this Tommy Angeletti owes Paulie $100,000, but Ralphie's basically holding it thin. What did y'all think about this interaction of Tony kind of opening up a little bit to Paulie about something he's feeling, and also this underlying Ralph beef that's about to continue with Paulie?
Before I get into that real quick, I just want to Sopranos did a great job of just throwing this line in there. Pete turning around, looking at the ocean and saying, I always wanted a house by the ocean, maybe in another life. I mean,
get to live down there.
You feel me? I mean, he living there in another life, man. He got his crib by the ocean.
Now you just can't leave.
Now you just can't leave, man. Yeah, man. This is the genesis of a large chain of events. Like if you think about a lot of the things that happened towards the end of this season, going into season 4, they happened because of this Paulie beef with Ralphie.
Mm-hmm.
So just to see this part of it always makes it interesting because, like I said, it's a snowball effect. But this is how it's done. You got a legitimate beef, you got an issue. All right, I'm bringing it to the boss. It's not like, and that's why Paulie was so upset with Chris. You don't bring bullshit to the boss. Me sniffing your girl's panties is not a boss issue. You can be mad about it, you can be pissed about it, but you come to see me, man to man, like, yo, what the fuck is you on? Okay. You a made man too. You can step to me like that now.
Thanks.
But you go to see Tony about this type of stuff. 100 G's, yes, I need this settled. Boy. And Ralphie ain't going about it. I'm going above your head now because we got to make this right before I turn it into another situation. We know how Paulie is.
Mm-hmm. We seen him do more. We seen him do more for less.
For a lot.
Exactly.
Do I need to get into specifics?
And I like how Tony told him, he's like, bro, like, this small fries, like you about to set up to have millions of dollars, but like I always say, or as the kids say, Paulie was standing on business. Like, no, it don't matter what millions I got coming in or what he owed me money, and Ralphie fucking it up. So I always through and through with what type of person that Paulie is.
Yeah, I need that guaranteed, bro. Like, I need that, I need my guaranteed. I get the possibilities. You know how it is, especially with us black people. Like, we invest and we kind of be like 1 foot in, 1 foot out. Like, I don't really know, bro. I kind of want to see, but you ain't all the way in. Let me get my guaranteed first. Like, we talk about the 9-to-5 concept versus entrepreneurism. So I totally got Paulie where it's like $100,000, bro. Like, I don't know about you, Tone, but I don't live the same way. Like, Paulie don't live in the same condition that Tony lives. So $100,000, I mean, Tony spends 50 G's later in the episode. You know what I mean? It's like, bro, I'm not in the same bracket as you. I get you talking millies, but I need my grands now. So, I mean, you just taught your wife a ring, bro.
And Tony knew he was right. That's why he made that face towards the end of the scene. You can't discount my money because I got money coming in another way. Like, nah, man, that's still exactly. That's still my bread. Yeah, I need that.
We get Carmela comes in and Tony is laid out. She's kind of going through, getting ready for Christmas. We see his list. On his list, he's got boat, transfer cannolis, gift for Carm and Scooter. It looks like boat is crossed off. I really like how he has these are like metaphors for something else. It's a very interesting way they did this. Because they don't write nothing down. So it's very tight that if they ever found this, you wouldn't know what he was talking about. But yeah, we find out that Janice wants to cook for Christmas. I guess she said she was cooking Christmas Eve. Carmela, I was kind of confused on what that was about.
Yeah, I guess that too. Yeah, that was key right there. He had another attack.
Yes. What brought that on? Did he say it in the Melfi session or?
Yeah, he said it in the Melfi session.
Okay.
That he was thinking about a friend of his that was working with the feds and all that.
Tell him about.
Couldn't tell her about it. Yeah, he brought it up.
It took me a few days to watch it, so I thought it was another episode. I swear, I was like, oh, it's the earlier the same episode, bro. Well, that's speaking of that. We get to the Melfi session, and he speaks about the friend, and I really like how Melfi put this. It's always stuck in the back of my mind. She calls Christmas Stressmas, and boy, if that ain't a bar, can we get those shirts? You know what I mean?
Man.
But Melfi seems like she has a lot of sass. I don't know if y'all was picking that up or not, but it definitely felt a little sass, which we obviously know from the underlining. She putting things together, and she seemed like she kind of been holding that now at this point. Like everything that comes off from this point seems like I'm waiting for you to speak to this. But But what did y'all think? I throw the ball in your court, Spike Lou. What did you think about this session, and even Tony exposing that little detail about a friend working with the feds?
She was a little sassy in the beginning, right?
Mm-hmm.
Are you taking your medication? Is that what the bottle says? But then when you get to the Big P thing, that strikes her interest. Now she's intrigued again. Now she wants to fix it again, wants to learn and know more. And this is the reason that she's in the loop that she is with Tony. I want to fix this part of it. The other part of it, she agitated, annoyed by that he doesn't follow her directions. This part of it, the personal part that she really thinks that she can affect, it always brings her back in. When I try to get me out, they pull me back in.
Boy. What say you, Rich?
Pretty much, man. What Spike just said. That's Tony is just trying to find his happiness, man, find his peace. He mentioned that he's looking forward to Christmas this year, and then all of a sudden he started thinking about this old thing, and it's just trying to figure out where Tony gets to the core of how much longer do I need to do this? Why is this still happening? You know, why these small attacks? And they're always triggered by something big. And he said it himself. He hadn't, he suppressed that memory. I hadn't thought about that since it happened, and now it's on my mind. And it goes to say that he's more upset at the fact that he didn't see it. We see that as a theme throughout all of them this episode. They're upset. We're professionals. This is something we're supposed to sniff out, a mile away. Spike, we made the point earlier, you're blinded by love. But it's interesting to see how the whole operation changed. When they were out there on that boardwalk, Jackie, P, and Tony, that conversation they were having, the P blindly mentioning he was scared Junior was scared I was going to whack him, them talking to business right there, that's not something they really do anymore. Like Tony, even when Ray comes in a later scene and they're talking about P, and that's a ride I'd love to be on, Tony deaded that conversation because it's so loose, man. Everything's just evolved in that nature. But yeah, man, they just upset, like I said, more than likely that they couldn't see that shit coming.
Yeah. I gotta always point out the fact that again, yeah, we know this is a fiction show because I've spoke about it before, and I've even listened to some mob guys like Tony even saying that he would have been whacked. Like, let's be clear. Like him saying that alone, a friend of mine working for the feds. The whole thing, we know, we get it, but this is a television show. It makes it interesting. It's warping reality, and in a way, it's built on the concept of in at the end. So I just want to notify that. Don't be like, oh, this is not real. That's not how it would work. The mob you can't even. But I do think it was kind of out of character for Tony a little bit. Like, I mean, when he told Melfi at the end of season 1 kind of what was going on, like, you need to get out of town, you need to leave Dodge because I got people coming after me and I don't want them to hurt you. That was like a necessity of her life was on the line. Let's put all our cards on the table. Like you said, at this moment, I think it was completely unnecessary. I think because I mean, when he talked about the young lady that was killed by Ralph, Tracy, he didn't really go into specifics, like nothing even remotely close. Like, but with this, you say like she gonna put it together. She's seen you on TV. I don't even know why he would even like. But it just felt like a little out of character for me. But it's a
foreshadowing. It's a foreshadowing for sure. Tony gets a little bit more brazen, and I think there's a session in this pilot, not the pilot, but the opening episode of season 4, where he's talking very vividly about some things. And I don't know. I think it's just Tony's journey into therapy, man. I think he's really just trying to get better.
Yeah, he's more comfortable now.
Yeah.
He's way more comfortable with Melfi. She's kind of earned his trust, per se. So I think he feel like that he can let those things kind of go in there.
Okay. Janice and Aaron are making music, and we know
Aaron got a streak going. Boy, I forgot Aaron.
Yeah, he had a little wave, didn't he,
man?
Yeah, he had a little wave.
Man. He lasted through the holidays, man. Holidays through the new year.
Yeah, we seen him more than Harpo.
Thanks.
Tony.
Snap.
So we see this is I had to rewind this to catch this detail. Janice is playing guitar. But Janice is playing guitar with the same hand that the cast is in. So when we get the later part of the scene, it's a very funny scheme that she's doing. Because at first I'm like, dang, I almost felt like I was like, oh, maybe Janice is truly hurt because I mean, dude did whop her a little bit, but then I'm looking, I'm like, oh my gosh, that's crazy. But this is where the line comes from. Aaron says that's a great mother jumping tune, and they got what Spike called on the episode before on the the birthday episode. They have the Carlos Rosso, the Walmart joint.
Carlo Rossi, man.
Rossi. Okay, yeah. Rich, what do you think about this scene, bro?
The gallon Carlos Rossi sitting right there is crazy.
The gallon Carlo Rossi.
The gallon sitting right there practicing them. That's crazy. Like in the middle of the day.
Yeah. Mo, you know what I'm about to say, Mo. You know what I'm about to say. Yesterday, I sent a text message in the chat on some unrelated shit. And this is exactly what I'm talking about. Your house being filthy and dirty like this. Dishes piled up, talking about something you want to cook Christmas dinner. Janice, the audacity and the nerve of you.
Yes. Thank you, Rich, because I know I'm going somewhere with
the audacity and the nerve of you to know that you want to host Christmas dinner. Actually make it a point. You volunteer Carmela and you ain't even got the decency to have your crib cleaned up and you blame it on your wrist, the same wrist you were just playing garage with. So Carmela grabbing gloves now? You got me fucked up. You got me fucked up. You got beer bottles all over the place, open chip cans. It was the same way when we saw Janice still at Tony's house. When he had the conversation with her on the couch, like, maybe you can move into mom's house and that be your thing because you ain't about to sit here and just be living filthy like this. On top of the fact that Janice is just, I know you made the point earlier, Mo, about her scheming and with the wrist. That's just who Janice is. She's trying to make a demo for Christian music because she sees a lane. She don't care about none of that. She just trying to get money. She always looking for a scheme. Yeah. Every time you call my house, man, every time I hear your voice, I'm losing something. That's what Tony's probably thinking. I'm losing my peace. I'm losing money. I'm losing time. Mm-hmm. But we also see you still my sister. You still my family. Yeah. Damn, your wrist fucked up. All right, man, let me add something to the Christmas list.
Yeah. Yeah,
but she filthy, man. This is filthy, bro.
I got some stuff on that, but what do you think, Spike, about this whole scene, bro?
I don't care if I don't care if you clean up or not. Nah, I'm not done, man. I don't care. Hey, man,
I'm gonna let you finish.
You can clean up.
Another thing.
You can clean up, and I'm still not eating there just because I saw how filthy it was. While I'm eating my food, all I'm gonna be thinking about is yesterday. This shit was fucking disgusting. Oh, that knocked over beer bottle in the corner. Hell nah. I'm not about to be trying to picture that while I'm eating this turkey, man. This goose.
You are a funny dude, Rick. You shouldn't be so funny. You shouldn't be so funny, Rich.
My bad, Spike. That shit, man. She called me over. That was all Tony, man. She called me over that shit, bro. I'll be so fucking mad.
This sound too close to home right now. What we?
Nah, man. It's just like I'll be so mad, bro. Like, what the fuck is it? Why would you call me over here knowing your shit like this?
And you sitting there playing Guitar Hero.
Yeah, how you live like this? How you live like this? Like, you comfortable with yourself?
I still find it hilarious how my nigga Aaron just fell out. Like as soon as the door rung, she walked away. My man hit the nosedive. I'm with Rich. Disgusting house. Like I just, if I was Tony, I would be livid. Shout out to Edie Falco. Like she didn't have to say a word, just the actions, like her face acting and her movements. Like she just slowed up walking in the kitchen. Like, oh hell no. All of that was perfect. Edie Falco done a great job.
Shout out
Carmela done a great job in these scenes, just with her like presence of like, I'm not even used to this. Like you can see it all over Carmela's face. Like I'm not even comfortable standing in this shit. I'm used to, a higher level of what some shit is going on. But yeah, Janice always scheming, makes it a point to mention the wrist, knows what kind of banks on Tony doing something about that. Like that's the only reason I feel like that she mentioned is she know her brother will come to her rescue. We see that as a theme throughout the series.
Just to add to that, man, a couple of things. One, this is very reminiscent when you got family and they want to host, and everybody in the family knows and friends know this person's house is it's easy, it's a layup. They got the space to hold all of us here. They got the room, they got the TVs, they got the setup. You know, everybody got that go-to, like we could do it here, make it work, but they obviously have the idea set up. The Soprano house is ideal. But
Carm was tired of them coming over there too. She said that.
Because that's a lot of work for Carm, and I totally get that. You know, but for it almost seems like coming here, it's like, bro, I got to do even more work because now I got to figure out where everything is. I got to clean up and then get started on prepping. And it's consistent to season 2 when we see how dirty. Remember, the house is dirty when Jackie was there. Remember, he's picking up drawers off the floor. Richie. Now, another thing is, while we look at that and Tony can have it and turn his nose up, the reality is Tony would be exactly like her if he didn't have Carmela. Exactly. Yeah. Like, he's a sloth just like her. He has
a family trait. That's
a family trait. So we look at it like Tony got it all nice and clean. That's because of Carm. Like, we'll see later in the series how they living. You know what I mean? They ain't gonna be living like that. You know what I mean? So I just thought that was interesting. Aaron,
that's a good pull.
Yeah, Aaron passing out. It could be his narcolepsy, but the timing kind of feels funny because it almost seems like
I don't want to deal with these people.
Well, I don't want to deal with it. And last week I was talking about, or the week before, last week I was talking about drinking and having alcohol, and now I got a big bottle right in front of me, not her. And all of a sudden they come in now. I got to keep the act up, so I'm falling out. Because they're going to catch me drinking wine. And I just told Tony last week I can't have champagne because we're not supposed to have alcohol. I don't know if that's the truth. That's a hot take, but it definitely felt very convenient, brother. Like, I don't know. But yeah, it's crazy how Janice get this wrist thing off. But yeah, that's her.
That's crazy. They went to the store and saw all the wine and picked. They chose Rossi. That shit wild.
Chose a gallon of Rossi.
They chose a gallon of Rossi
because she ain't got no. But that speaks to her money bracket. Like, she really don't got money. Like, she refused to work. She gonna scheme. Then so yeah, but I guess that's about it on that scene. But that's a really funny. I love scenes at Janice's house. But we go over to, is this Satry house?
Yeah, this is Satry house. Okay. Anytime you see the kitchen, it's Satry house.
Okay, thank you. I always kind of, when it gets dark, I get confused. Okay, so we at Satry house with Christopher, Silvio, and Hesh, your favorite character. It looks like they're getting prepared for Christmas, and they're trying to figure out what they're gonna do, and everybody's coming in. I just love this. This whole thing felt really good to me. But Ray comes down and he's going hard on Big P about being a rat. Oh man. And then they're talking about trying to find a Santa Claus, and Tony's not with it at all. What did you think about this scene?
I can't stand Ray, man. I can't stand Ray. Obviously, we know what's going on with him, but I'm not a fan of anybody who's doing one thing and then speaking up on it, like, you know, you throw a stone and hide your hand type of people, man. Just shut up. You ain't got to say nothing. You don't have to say anything. Just be in the room. You know, you don't got to go out your way to say that's a lot of saving it, ratting his friends out to save his own ass, bro. You doing the same shit. Stop it. Mm-hmm. But yeah, I love the fact that they even, well, the first thing I got to point out is Seal saying, you'll never guess what we found at the bottom of the Christmas box, the Santa outfit. Okay, you guessed. Like, Sale's just naturally funny.
Yeah,
he just one of those silly dudes.
Yeah,
but them trying to get him in the suit. Tony's saying, "Get the fuck out of here with that," and then obviously bringing up Big P. Tony's been he was excited for Christmas. His mood's been changed since he thought about P. Now he can't escape P. They bringing him up here. Paulie just said he don't ever think about him, but here you are going on this whole rant about P and this, that, and the third. We was just talking about him, bruh. Stop. And just the origin of this whole Christmas thing. Why would these gangsters be in Santa? That's the last thing you would expect, right? But they do give back to the community. They do try to bring some cheer. Tradition means something to them. Mm-hmm. Tony's dad started this when old man Satrial caught that bullet in his head. I always wondered if he really shot himself, or, you know, if that's just another way to say, yeah, something else happened. I don't know. But
yeah.
You know, you see it throughout, man. It's that time of the year. And how do gangsters do Christmas? They do it like this.
Yes. What about you, Spike? What you thinking about this whole the tough guys trying to get in that Christmas spirit, man?
We see it everywhere. We seen it in New Jack City with Nino Brown giving out the turkeys. It's what gangsters do, right? We give back during the holidays. Chris Feli little bit was cool.
Yeah, it was
fly back there at Satriel's. Really funny. Your man's talking about he wish he could have been on that ride, and we know what he got going on. Yeah, this was a dope scene. I like the reminiscent of it, them going back in the time and figuring out all of the things that they could have seen or should have seen with Big P.
Yeah, I agree with both of y'all. I just to add to that, I love the idea of guys that don't operate in normalcy trying to be normal. That it's just the fish out of water effect that we always love with stories. So it's very fun and exciting for me because this is obviously probably a slow time of year for them, I'd imagine. Like it's Christmas, it's just like at jobs, it slows down. So it's just I got a lot of things I want to speak to, but I'll wait till we get further down the road as far as like certain choices that are made from some of these characters. But
I love the fact that you just brought that up. It's like everybody else's job. It's the end of the year, everybody kind of regrouping, things slowing down. These dudes don't have much to do. I think that's even why they insert somebody like Ray. But we haven't seen Ray for real all season, maybe a couple times.
Yeah.
But you don't even have enough going on to where you, all right, man, it's holidays. Let me go see what's going on with the crew.
Yeah, that's you're right. Point. You're right. Because I think we seen him on Prosher Lavushka where we found out he was a rat, and that was kind of
pretty much it.
Yeah. And then first season. But Tony goes to Slavas and Tony brings $250,000. What's this for, an overseas account?
Yeah, man, brought all his cannolis over.
So that's AKA that's us, good earners, AKA transferring cannolis. But we get a character that we didn't think we'll ever see again in life. Slava's brother, who's getting drunk at the bar, just having a good old time in the daytime. He's getting to it. And
good old Valerie.
Valerie, thank you. And yeah, it's literally next episode. For those that have never seen it, just wait till we get to the next episode. But is the guy that's with Slava, is he Russian as well, or was he Jewish? He kind of had that Jewish look that was doing like the accounting part of it, or
I think he was Russian too.
He was Russian. He kind of
Russian.
Yeah, he spoke Russian too.
Russian.
Okay, it just he kind of had that look. But anything y'all want to add to this scene? Or
the biggest thing for me that I love about this is when you are in that world, when you're in that life, when you have to do those business dealings, the amount of trust that it takes. I don't know how much trial and error, but just a regular network that you have amongst thieves, the same way you would have, in the corporate world. You have to find somebody that can take this money and clean it out for you. We saw this in The Wire when Prop Joe got Marlo set up with an overseas account. You have to understand, that was a perfect actually scene. I know this ain't a Wire show, but I got all this money and I have no idea what to do with it. Like, how do I do that? If you a gangster and you going above your wildest dreams as far as your success level, that's probably something you didn't think about beforehand. Like, I can't claim this money. I can't say it. What do I do? I bet I found somebody. I got a guy that can put this overseas. The fact that he's speaking a different language when I'm giving you $250,000 and you guys are actually having a legitimate conversation, nobody's trying to get over. That's just the honor amongst the people that live in that world and the power of those relationships. It does me no good to screw over Tony Soprano. I'm gonna do everything that he needs because A, he's gonna probably give me more business, and B, I don't want to be on his bad side. So it's easy to take $250,000 and be like, shit. But we saw it earlier with the lawyer. When Tony had to bounce and he gave that lawyer, I got to disappear for a little bit. These guys know, like, it's that trust level that you take when you can't trust much in that world.
Yeah.
I thought this scene highlighted that. And I love that. I love the fact about it.
That is a funny tie back to that line, like how you could be. that's a good one, bro. What do you think, Spike, about this whole transaction? Because Paulie complaining about $100,000 and he dropping off a cool $250,000.
Shows of the growth of Tony. As we always say, it's never really directly mentioned in this show how Tony's ascending to more money and more power. You always kind of see the side products of it, the new cars, dropping $250 off, buying car and stuff. So I love how they like mildly incorporate his rise. It's more so about everything else than it is him, continuing to have his presence as a mafia boss spread out.
And not to I don't know. You might have just been about to say it,
but he got the info for the Russians from Slava.
Exactly.
Okay.
Exactly.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I almost missed that, but yeah, he got that info and he crosses that off as well.
I love his my fault. I love his answer. He said, maybe there's something you can do for me. And I love just to direct people because that's how I am.
Yeah.
Tell me what it is and I'll tell you if I can help. Like, it's that simple. Like, okay. I ain't gonna bullshit you around. Either I'm gonna say, yeah, I can help you, or no, I can't. I just love that answer.
Yeah. Yeah. No doubt. I like how you put it, Spike. They do that. Like, a typical show would have took the mob and focused on the come up and the grind of it. But we literally, they say it's in at the end and they place us there. And so we're not in an unfamiliar territory of the mob getting money. They've been getting money. That's how I go. I'm boss. Y'all pay up to me. Like, it's a given. So you're absolutely right. They focus on everything but the bag, which is so interesting. Because like Tony's he's going around day to day living. He's rich. He's a rich man. Like 250, you're rich, bro. Like, you're walking around just dropping off money. Like, you got people that got concerns about their bag, and it's crazy. He's literally rich walking around. Like, it's crazy. But yeah, I like how you put that as well, Spike. We go to the Bada Bing, and we get our first Silvio dream. It might be the only one we get. And when Silvio goes to the dressing room of the Bada Bing girls, I watched the scene a few times. It's just ridiculous. Or certain parts of it.
I bet you did watch it a few times, man. There's a lot of talent in this scene.
Oh, is it now?
There's a lot of talent, man.
Now, the way they opened the scene, that was a real skill. That drop was, yeah. But Sil moves the clothes, and we see P, and he's on a adult-sized mouse trap. But if you see it right before, this man is in his drawers, bro. I don't know. It's reminded me of Into Deeper for some reason. But I'm not going to even go into that scene.
Please don't. Please don't. Please don't.
But I'm interested to see, Spike. I know you hate dreams. What you think about this? Yeah. I know this was short. You still feel like,
This was better because it showed like Seal's damn near unbreakable. We never see him rattled. He's always the cooler head that prevails. So it shows that this was affecting not only Tony, but him as well. Just like this was our friend. We missed the signs. Were we slipping? Is there something else going on that we may not know about? I love it. This Seal is showing effects from this.
Okay.
So the dream sequence worked in this.
All right. Look at Sopranos. They're getting some good points from Spike on some of these things that he normally hates. What about you, Rich?
That's the same thing. It really just sets up this next scene.
Okay. Well, yeah, I like it too. I don't know how they created or where they got this adult side. I had to rewind a few times to know what was going on because I was like, what is this? It was so quick. But there's an ad. Are you having a hard time with rats? I mean, mice, and they just keep coming and they won't keep their mouths shut. Well, we got a new device called the Ray Repellent. It keeps rat mouth, talking loud mouths in a pinch. Go online now, type in Good Earners for your discount code to get rid of any of the rats. It's called Ray Repellent. Go get it now. All right. We pull up. I don't know why this is Stevie Van Zandt. He just shouldn't be this good. A man with no acting experience prior, a musician. He just shouldn't be this good as Silvio, bro. Gosh, like he pulls up to Tony. He got like the Don? What is it, Don Julio or?
Nah, I like Johnny Black.
Johnny Black. Okay,
yeah, that's some scotch.
Some scotch. Yeah. So he comes and he just kind of standing there and he ain't even saying nothing. They got that look like, yeah, like the way they just had that look like he didn't even say anything. They went down to the basement. I really enjoyed that expression acting right there. But we get a little call back while they're about to have this conversation of the lamp being missing. It's crazy how this season started off with that lamp being a big thing. And I just love how they're almost not making fun of themselves, but kind of like just in case, oh yeah, we still remember. Like if y'all think we forgot about the lamp and we forgot about the whole police setup, we ain't forgot, So it's just a funny thing. But
Funny thing, and also,
yeah, go ahead.
it's like this conversation with the lamp down there is damn near like that's gold for the feds.
Yes.
So that's what they were reminding us of, is how lucky they were that the lamp is gone. Like, he pissed the metal for taking it. That lamp down there, they going to jail.
100%, 100%. I also just love the fact that it ties into what Spike said about that dream sequence. This isn't Sill's character. Like, this isn't even normal. Like, so what you just said, Mo, the fact that Sill just shows up with the bottle, not a word said, and Tony's just looking at him. All right, I know this is something, because this ain't even you.
Yeah.
And even when they get to the basement, Tony said, "You starting to worry me. Like, what's going on, bro? Like, because you my most trusted ally. You my confidant, my consigliere. You my Tom Hagen. Like, you everything for me. Like, what are you doing? Because if you ain't cool, then nothing's cool.
Yeah.
You're the coolest out the bunch." And then obviously just tying right into giving us more of 1995, more history about the Soprano crew. I love the actual sit down, but more than anything, just the fact that they really are bothered. I said it earlier, that they did not see this shit coming. The signs are all there, and now it's on. Ghost of Christmas Past.
Thanks.
Yeah. It's just an amazing thing of what they're doing, and it's important because this time last year, I'd imagine maybe, I think this time last year, P was still here and they were still actively doing that. But I guess they're trying to figure out the timeline of when it began. But at the sit down, we get another Ghost of Christmas Past, Gigi. So it was good. It was good to see him too. Junior comes in. See, it's crazy because Junior was still in his like mafioso bag. Like, he really thought that like he was really playing this tough guy, bro. Like, we know how he was season 1, and even how he walked in with the hat and everything. He really was trying to get this tough guy thing off. You know what I mean? It's just so interesting. And even seeing Tony as a capo, and I made a video recently, but like when they find out like the sit down and him missing it, there's a moment where he's trying to explain about him caring for his Gumar's, Big P caring for his Gumar's mother was in the hospital, and he's going on and on about this. Y'all probably seen it, maybe y'all didn't, y'all will see it, but like on the Good Earners page, I talk about when you try to express to men like when you're really going through something, and then you get a line like Jackie Senior, but you still smash though, right?
When we get to that, I got a question when we get to that scene.
Okay, but
and Junior's crew is weak as fuck. Like, you can see why he got passed over, man. You got Gigi and some old nigga behind you, bro.
Yeah.
Your crew is weak.
Yeah, bro, they laughing at you, kid.
Yeah.
But yeah, that scene's right after if you want to get into it though.
Oh, was that a good enough excuse for y'all?
Love is blind. Love is fucking blind. And I love how they mention the sit down, and then we flash to it. Like, we missed it. We missed it, but we want to show you, the audience, what we missed. See if you guys picked up on it. And just like what you're saying, Rich, we see it and we're like, wait, what? Your grandma's mom? Like, nigga, if you don't, like, this is a major sit down. You've been down, like, you damn near brokered this. Like, so just showing that, and to answer your question, no, it was not a good enough excuse. But again, we seen how close to Jackie was with him. We seen how close to Tony was to him. He really didn't press the situation. This is what Big P says. This is what it is.
Yeah, that's a good point. The idea of you even lying to us or working with the feds is so out of the realm of possibility that this had at the end. You know, they always say the best lies are the ones that sound like bullshit. Like, because it wouldn't there's no other reason as to why you would even be with your Gumar's mom. So you must be telling the truth, because why would you make that dumb shit up? So if you're close to someone, it can make sense. But us seeing it, it's just, what? Your Gumar's mother? You niggas barely care about their Gumars, let alone their mamas.
Like, their moms. Like,
I got something. I got a big boss meeting. This shit might lead to a promotion for me for brokering this and setting this up. Like, you take care of your mom, I'll check in after this is over. That just wasn't enough for me. It wasn't enough for me. But if that was my childhood friend, if this is the dude that I did everything thick and thin, you know where all the bodies at? All right, cool. Why would you lie to me? Sure.
Yeah, because it's everything but that in your head, rationalizing. It's everything but that. There's no way because with the mob and sit downs, like they make appointments for that, and they like, you don't miss it once you make the appointment. Like, you don't miss. And so for him, the fact he missed, he couldn't have. I mean, he did just get back from Boca. So I can't question his dedication. I know it must have been something. You know what I mean? You'll think everything but the obvious thing. Obviously, now hindsight's 2020, what they're getting into. But what I will say before we keep moving is seeing Jackie Sr. here in this scene is so interesting. I spoke about it in our season 1 on the pod, where it's like he actually went out for the role of Tony Soprano. So we talk about it all the time. Nobody could have played it but James Gandolfini, like, because here's what I think the actor. Can you do me a favor, Rich? Can you pull up the actor's name? I don't want to keep saying the actor. Sorry, of Jackie Singer, April.
Yes, for sure.
But Jackie, the way he plays this, he fits the bill. He's perfect. When you talk about a mob boss, this actor playing a mob guy, he feels exactly like what we would imagine the mob guys feel like. But I think pause.
Hey yo.
Oh man. Oh. Feels like what the mob guys should feel like is crazy. But the idea of their personality and how we think them to behave and act. But I know Spike had said in our first season review, like how nobody could do that Family Guy aspect of it. Even when we see later with him bringing in Jackie, it's cool, but nobody can quite do it like Tony. And I definitely don't think nobody can pull off the humor like that. So, but he's doing a great job being boss in this scene, you know, for the little bit of airtime that we get with him.
For sure, man. Michael Rispoli is his name, by the way.
Michael Rispoli. He's really good.
Currently, he's actually currently on Raising Kanan.
He played the Italian dude in there.
He was in Godfather of Harlem too, wasn't he?
Yeah, he was in Godfather of Harlem for an episode. He's been in a lot of good stuff. He has a very familiar face. Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely, man. I think he was in some Entourage episodes. I don't know, but he's been in a lot of stuff.
He plays in Billions.
He plays in Billions.
He played a cop.
Got something. Yeah, man.
He be working.
He was in Rounders, man. I don't know if anybody's a Rounders fan. With Matt Damon and
movie. Yeah,
Matt Damon and Ed Norton. He was in Rounders, so yeah, he's made his way around the block. I will say this: nobody could be Tony Soprano but Tony Soprano. But I would watch a show where Jackie was the boss, and the spinoff being about Tony Soprano's rise. Like if there was a prequel show that came out in 94, 95, 96. And then, you know, after you leading up to Jackie's death, and then we see the spinoff, that would have been perfect. I would have watched that show because I can see him as a boss. He's not Tony as we know Tony. Yeah, he's just not that guy.
Yeah, I seize your $1. I raise you $2.
Yeah.
I would be open to. I may be alone on this. I would be open to a Big P spinoff, like because we talk about those things that he did in the past when we had what we call the two dudes that were running with Christopher that got killed last season. Matthew Bevilacqua and the other guy, but they're talking about, you know, them robbing the card games and all the different things and how he was there for Tony. I would be open to see his whole journey from how he got there to being a rat and trying to I would be really into it, like, honestly. But I'm with you on both. I think both of those, they got so much there. If they want to, they can do it. It's easy. You know what I mean? So, but that's us on our, you know, y'all had to go on the Patreon for all that type of talk. But let's see where we at. I lost track for a second.
Oh, we at the dinner at Vesuvio's.
They at Vesuvio's.
Oh, okay, at Vesuvio's. Okay. But yeah, it looks like they're at Vesuvio's. We get Paulie, Silvio, and Tony. I can't even remember. I don't even think I tracked this scene. I don't know if it was a quick scene or not, but I got you, brother. I remember now. Yeah. Okay. They were talking about their Gumars, and they were talking about what they were doing for him for Christmas.
Yeah, then they were talking about how good Charmaine looked.
Okay. How could I forget? I absolutely have this. Because how could we forget?
Hey, Tony these niggas don't be trying to hide it. They don't even leave. They don't pretend that that's somebody's wife. They look at her up and down, staring right at her shit.
Bro, she's a mother.
My nigga Paulie was like laser beamed in on her chest.
Dog. now that we've cast our knowing you, darling, like, oh man. All right, first off, let's just
said, Maron, look who it is.
Look who it is. Like, hey,
I couldn't
yo,
believe
I
it.
never greeted her like that before.
Nah. Okay, so let's talk about that Charmaine scene. Let's deal with that. Deal with it in parts. What y'all think about the look and the joke and everything about this Charmaine moment? Cause I think you was alluding to it, Spike. You was last week. I think you were alluding to like, oh, I remember we talking about the infamous trunk story, just like the receipts of like I could if I wanted to. You know what I mean?
Right.
And you were referring to this. So I'm gonna throw the ball in your throw the ball in your court first. Somebody commented and said, "Yo, that's crazy."
Nah, that's it. That's just. I've laughed. Like I've been doing random shit throughout this week, and about 5 times just stopped and laughed my ass off about that.
Nah, just go ahead. Like that's crazy.
Oh man, that's funny. We're gonna get into that on another week in the book soon.
Oh yeah,
we got to.
Yeah.
Are you asking? Do I feel like Tony felt like he could get Charmaine? He felt like
what do you think her purpose is in doing this? As far as how does it affect the mob guys or the customers or Artie? What's her plan here as far as like getting dolled up like this?
To piss Artie off and to help her self-esteem as well. She know those guys. She grew up with them. She know they gonna be oogling at the mouth about it, and she know it's gonna piss Artie off. Like she's in her whole villain phase. Like she wanted to be like the bad guy. She want Artie to feel bad. We seen the little interaction that she had with Tony. Who knows? They didn't do it on screen, but who knows what she said to Carmela to have her thinking what she was thinking later in the episode. So yeah, she's just in her whole villain bag. I don't even really think Tony was studying her other than admiring how good she looked. I don't think Tony would shoot that shot. That's way too close to home.
Yeah, I agree.
He wouldn't do Artie like that. That's one of the few people I feel like he wouldn't even do it. Like he might pull like a Jody, where shit gets started and like, no way, I can't even do this. But
all right, this is foul, man. This is so foul.
Yeah, but that was definitely for Artie, just to let you know I'm a free agent. Like I'm a free agent, and anytime you're a free agent, whether you like it or not, you like that attention that you garner. People trying to, obtain your services. Let me see how much juice I got. I've been married for a minute to Artie. You don't put on that kind of outfit. You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. And it works. It works, man.
It's funny you say I'm a free agent. I always think about Love Don't Cost. I'm a free agent now. If y'all do that movie before Bad Boys, I'll hop on for that one too. I don't know if that's Coach Garden or School, but either way.
I already told School that you won in on that.
Okay, that's one of my favorite movies. I love that.
That's on brand.
Love Don't Cost a thing?
I said that's on brand.
Absolutely.
That's on brand.
I know it's not a good movie. I know it's not. But
it is on brand. You're right.
Yeah,
it's on brand.
That's on brand. But
that's the Nick Cannon movie, right?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Okay.
But Charmaine, like, it's crazy because last episode we see the Lollipop Club become the crazy horse, and we see Artie in there getting his like vibe on, still thinking low. I still think he low-key thought he still had some kind of chance. Let me come out here and support Adriana. I mean, he cares about it, but he's still like thinking he had the earring in again, so he thought he was out here in the streets. In this moment, Charmaine's showing you I can do this better than you. I'm killing you at this. Let me show you how I give it up. And I mean, shouts out to Yada Bing, Sopran Field. This moment they've correlated with the Elaine moment when she pulled up on their boss with the chest out, to get a good look, Costanza. So I just think about this thing. But it's very funny, this Paulie line. I don't know why this is so funny to me. It's like way out of Paulie's character. Next the blind will see and the lame will walk. But she walks over there.
Hey, Paulie was wild for that,
bro. Man. That's what I'm saying, because his voice is like, what up a picture? I'm like, this is not even him. But she called him Tony Yoni, and and then she gets this joke off of like, yo, I think there's feds over there. Now I'm just playing. And got out of there. Artie walks out, and Silvio was ready to let Artie know, hey, yo, you better get your wife in order, bro. Like, when is that funny? Why is that funny joking about the FBI? Again, these guys are trying to be normal, and they don't have an idea. Like, anybody could joke about the FBI if you're living legitimately. That's why it's not funny to Silvio. Y'all not normal. Like, so, but yeah, what was you gonna say, Rich?
Charmaine knew that. I just love. I was gonna say I just love Tony and the way Tony grabbed Seal's hand because he knew Seal was about to go off the pocket, and it's that weird. There's always still that weird energy. Artie's known because of Tony for the most part. Like Tony went to school with him. He's actually friends with Artie. More so than anybody else. They respect him because of, obviously his restaurant, but the fact that that's Tony's friend. So Tony's always got to be that middle person. We saw it with him and Chris. Now you got to be that middle person to keep things kind of cool because you never want to be, if you're somebody like Tony, you never want your two friends, separate friends, to have beef with each other. That's not the purpose. That's not why I brought y'all together. So the way he grabbed his hand, like, Seal, take it easy, like, chill. Because he was about to say some foul shit about his wife.
And he know Artie like a firecracker too. Artie may fly off the handle and forget. Like, who are you talking to?
Yeah.
So
Artie. So she walks back to the back and
Artie he said her ass. Hold on, I'm sorry. Man.
Yeah, go ahead.
He said her ass may have improved. Tell the nigga about his wife. You feel me?
Yeah, that's wild,
bro. She is a mom. Somebody gonna catch that line one of these times. But she's got to go though. Like she killed it. Like I mean, she comes back to the back and Artie sees her. He's doing like the little flaunting gesture and stuff like that, and it's so hilarious because like, bro, she cares zero about these guys looking at her. Like she don't care nothing about it. She just proving a point to Artie, but she is gonna really peeve me later, and I imagine she does the same for y'all. But we'll get there. Is there anything else y'all want to add to this scene?
Just Tony gets that phone call with the information.
Okay.
Leading it to the next scene.
Okay. So Furio, Tony, they catch a cab. It's a pretty short scene. We notice it's the Russian guy that, pretty much whopped Janice earlier in the season. I always loved this scene. I tell you what, this scene always felt longer in my memory. I don't know why, but it always felt so much longer. Like there was more joking, more banter, more to the ride, but it's like super short of a scene. I don't know if there's anything I want to add to it, but it's kind of a short scene.
Yeah, just marking shit off the list.
Okay.
Making a list and checking it twice. Okay. And we go to Tony is home. He's getting undressed, which is a very interesting thing because there's something specific about when Tony gets undressed and gets right in the bed. That's the way to show. He does this intention to show I'm not cheating, because we know when he is cheating, his clothes is going to be in the laundry down in the basement, and he knows better than come there with the with that smell on him. So it's just a signature, because he'll talk about it like later, like I've been the poster boy for commitment or fidelity or whatnot. So this is definitely symbolism of him doing it by getting undressed in front of her, saying like, hey, I'm out here clean, which the only reason he's clean is because Gloria is just not in town, bro. Like that's the only reason you're clean. But what did y'all think about this scene, and even like Carm's like feelings towards him about everything?
It was just a throwaway scene for me. Not a throwaway, but like you say, just coming home, got the scooter, making a list, checking it twice. Pretty much it. I don't know what it was. There must be some kind of tie with the movie he was watching and him just being upset. I don't know if it's because of the Christmas theme. Maybe it's a reminder that I can't enjoy it the same way everybody else is enjoying it, because I've got all this other shit going on. So I'm tired of seeing everybody in this Christmas festive mood. But other than that, that was pretty much it for that scene.
That's a great call. Spike?
It was interesting when he responded about Charmaine, like the little pep in his voice, and I think Carmela picked up on. The movie he was watching, you know what that was, right, Rich?
Nah, that's what I was. Is that like a Miracle on 30?
That was It's a Wonderful Life. That was
It's a Wonderful Life. Okay.
Oh, that's the movie I was supposed to watch.
Yeah, that's probably one of my favorite films. That was when he found out that, like, he had gone through the whole thing with the angel and seen what his life would be like if he didn't exist. And this is when people started to realize, well, this is after that, and he came back, and then people knew him again after he seen what life would be like without him on Earth. So maybe that's it.
Yeah, that's got to be. I knew that movie had to be something, and they never. Every movie they put in this show is usually some kind of tie. So I'm glad that was a great pull because I didn't know that.
Yep, I watch it every year. Come on, it's one of my favorite films. But yeah, it's probably that.
What do you
like? You said getting something from. Well, my bad.
I was going to ask you since you're in it. Do you think it's referring to Tony, like if he didn't exist, or referring to P?
Tony,
because
the main protagonist in It's a Wonderful Life, he comes down on his luck. He makes a wish that he never existed. Then he gets to see how everybody else is without him. So he goes around the town. The town's different. Bad things that happen or whatever it may be, not to give away the movie if you haven't seen it. But yeah, I feel like it was Tony seeing it that way. Seeing it like, well, what if I never existed? And then it ended up like that.
Last thing I want to add, I almost missed this. I'm glad y'all brought the Charmaine part up. It's this interesting thing that Carm is like, you know, Charmaine looks good after her separation with Tony. It's again kind of putting that seed in her head, the idea that maybe I can go on without Tony. I don't think that they're directly saying that, but it's just the fact that she noticed that. Of course, the part of like, okay, you looking at her a certain way because she may be baiting him to reveal the info that was revealed season 1. But I also think that she's still in love with the idea of maybe one day I may be free. There might be a possibility. What does it look like? Because she leans on, you know, like a Charmaine when she looks at her. She looks at what's Big P's wife name? Bumpin' Sarah. What's
Angie.
She looks at Angie. So there's these women that she look at. I think even in some capacity, she looks at a Ro and a Janice too. Like maybe not in the same way, but like how do women actually go on when they're on their own? They're not necessarily saying that directly, but I think that we could infer that that's a part of it. So her doing all these running errands and everything, pretty much she almost like I'm already on my own. You know what I mean? But we'll get more of that. I just want to keep an eye on that Carmela story because they can't obviously focus every episode on Carmela. But great pull on a Christmas movie, Spike. Again, we're back at Satural's, correct?
Yes.
And they got the Christmas stuff. I love this whole conversation amongst the mobsters having a moment. Since this is probably that time of the year for them. Chris says Jim Carrey should play the Grinch. Did Jim Carrey play the Grinch?
I was wondering the same thing. Was this before or after that? Was this before the Grinch movie?
That's a great question.
I'm about to look it up.
The Grinch came out in 2000, so it was Jim Carrey's before.
Oh, I didn't know it was that far back. I swore it was like 2004 or something. Like, hey, that's crazy.
Yeah, and so it came out.
This was 01.
This is 01. Yeah.
Okay.
99, 2000, 01, yeah, because it came out November 2000.
Okay.
The Grinch did.
Still trying to show us that Chris got promised in the movie world.
Good pull.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, there's a lot that goes on here, so I'm throwing in y'all court. I'll double back on it. There's a lot of good moments in here. Y'all, man, I sidebar. I just want to do this with y'all. Like, I know this is not gonna happen, but like y'all as friends of mine. Like, I just want to be in the back of the big. They got the bourbon out. They twisted light bulbs. Like, you know what I mean? Like, we're kicking it. The family's good at the crib.
Popcorn.
Yeah, like we just whatever. Like, I just want to do this with the guys. You know what I'm saying? But anyway, that's a sidebar. But what did y'all think about this scene, man?
Nah, I love Christmas, man. Especially there was a certain era for me where Christmas was like the biggest thing. And like I said earlier, just living in that nostalgia. That's why sometimes, as an adult, as a man in his mid to late 30s, it's not the same feel. But I still have a ton of great memories from that time. That's what kind of brings it together. So yeah, Christmas is always dope. Obviously, the big thing, trying to figure out who's gonna wear this suit, and then Bobby comes in, still kind of gives a look, and they all kind of like, "Yup, it's right there." The whole time, there it is. They go, "Our Santa Claus," and Paulie being that gangster like we say he is. Paulie's not even if something is trivial. Even if it's something as trivial as who's going to play Santa Claus this year for the kids, the boss of this family said you're going to play Santa Claus, so you Santa Claus. Now shut the fuck up about it. And that's what it is.
He tried to be nice too. It was great. He did. He tried to be nice about it. It's like, look, you can do it. There's no, I can't. Like, nigga, when I get up out of this seat, you're gonna play Santa Claus. It was great. Good Bobby Bacala moment. Y'all know this one of my favorite characters, man. Only he could have played Santa like he did and get to arguing with the kid. We'll get to that.
I got questions about your man too.
But yeah, I like this scene too. You like same thing you said, Rich. Coming up for me, Christmas was big, especially being an only child. Like it was an amazing time of year. And then once you get older, it's just like another day. That shit damn near depressing. Like NBA games, the only thing that you got to look forward to on Christmas now. But yeah, like I wouldn't mind that either, man. That would be a dope little thing to do with the guys.
Yeah, y'all. That feeling will come back for y'all if y'all do so decide to have children. That feeling it won't be the same, but you will lean heavy in their energy. You're gonna lean all the way into like, okay, let me get childlike because the child is into it. That helps. You know, we're adults, but when it's just us, it still kind of feel like we're adults. Like you don't get a child immature feeling like you used to as a kid. You know, but once you have one, then you kind of can go all the way and allow that inner child to come out when it needs to. So I think that'll definitely change for you. I mean, it's still not great as when I was a kid, but it helps tremendously. Just like you hear that, look, there's the eggnog. Look at the, look, oh yeah, So
we used to start planning for Christmas in September. They could get the little catalog. That's how I need start circling shit,
bro. Them Toys R Us catalogs come in the Sunday paper, man.
Oh, the Toys R Us
circling everything.
Oh man,
that shit was fire. Absolutely.
Yeah. Okay, man. See, I always get that bitter. It's a bittersweet feeling. Me and my wife talk about it all the time. It's this.
It is, man. As you know, it is, man. That was 25 years ago. Dog. God damn.
I told y'all, nostalgia is dangerous, man.
I know.
It is, man.
I that's probably why y'all be like, bro, where you like? How don't you know what's going on, bro? I'll be like creating my modern 90s, like it, But you're right though. It is dangerous. We get to Janice's house and Janice watches the news and she sees that the Russian guy, he did bad. And the TV is tremendously small, but I'll give her a break because it's like a kitchen TV.
It's 2001. That's your normal size kitchen TV back then.
Yeah. Actually, yeah, that's probably kind of fly. I think about it. Like it's kind of like when they used to have handheld joint, but it's so funny because they zoom in, you see like the sleigh, you see the little reindeer in the back, and they got him like laying under there with one of their hats on or whatever, and the chair is still rocking. And she begins to cry. Now, I think this was genuine. What do y'all think?
For a crazy person, yeah, it was genuine for a crazy person. Mm-hmm. You still got to take everything that Janice do with a grain of salt. It probably did mean something to her, but her being that emotional was a Janice, like a Janism.
Okay. Rich?
Yeah, it was in Janice's way, it was genuine.
Okay.
That's probably the best way to put it. In her way, that was genuine for her.
Yeah, because I always go back to the end of season 2 when she had to leave, white knight satin armor, or if I'm misquoting it, whatever. But like when she left and she was having that moment with Tony where she's like, what's wrong with us? What's wrong with this family? They have a weird way of showing love because they ain't necessarily get that in their household. So she looked at it as a sign of love. It's weird because they damaged. Like, look who their mom was. She was a piece of work, And then, we only had to get into the father. So it's like, I think she genuinely, like you said, in Janice's way, in a crazy person's way, she looked at it as like, oh, that's really love. And he's on display. You know what I mean? So I liked it. I like that a lot. It's so
yeah, man, we get a lot of what's understood doesn't need to be said this episode. There's a lot of stuff that they just put out there. Mm-hmm. That's another one of those moments. Like we don't get the moment between Tony and Janice to where they discuss it or Janice says, I saw the news, no comment. It happened. I'm assuming you saw it. It. Part of it makes me think, like, did I do this for Janice? Did I do this for Janice to know, or did I do this because you can't fuck with my sister like that? Like, I don't give a fuck if Janice knows if I did this or not. Like, I just want the message to be clear that you can't fuck with my sister, which he even said when she was in the hospital.
Yeah.
Like, I have to, they can't just slap around my sister like this. Yeah. And I think he put it to bed. And then now that it's a serious thing, you got to have surgery. Well, she probably doesn't. And if she did, she probably just want Tony to pay for it or give her the money for it. Then she'll probably slap that shit off, take that fucking brace off. But yeah, man, all of that going on was great.
And this is similar to what Tony said about his mom having some kind of sick. I can't remember the exact phrasing that he used, but some kind of sick pleasure out of the meat that she would bring home, that the dad would bring home, because she know what he had to do to get it, like beat the dude up or whatever it may be. It's kind of like a tie-in, I feel like, to that, like that weird, you spoke to it, Mo, that weird thing with the Soprano family of how violence plays a role and how they show admiration or love for each other, going all the way back to their mom.
Wow, you that was a crazy pull, because she was literally cutting up meat while they came up on the news. Whew, what a pull. That's crazy. Yeah. Dang, that's crazy.
that is, man.
That's what this show does, bro. That's why you can keep rewatching it.
Facts.
Meadow, she pulls up on Carmela, and Carmela is doing what I love to do during Christmas. I like to sit in front of the tree and play some Christmas song. Now, ours wouldn't have been this. Obviously, ours would probably been some "Let It Snow, Let It Snow." You know,
Temptations, Silent Night, buddy.
Get that off.
Repeat.
Yeah, get that off. Temptations off. Get that. I mean, we're not playing Mariah, but Mariah will come in the playlist, but it's But
that King Cole,
Christmas song. King Cole, yeah, I need that. That's why. That's when you want to really get in that tradition, like you in there.
But you're right, Mo. This is probably one of the best parts of Christmas. Like, you sit there in front of the tree, got your little eggnog, you with mom, Dukes, or the fam, and just like taking it in. Like that is a good part of it.
Yeah, and it speaks to, that's why it makes so much sense on Carmela's thinking further and further, because they're telling so many storylines within one storyline. It's like an ensemble, but it has a main character. You know, I don't know necessarily other shows do that as well, having like an ensemble of strong characters, but yet it's still based around one character. Because we're seeing this through line of Carmela. I don't think this is Christmas Eve. No, it's probably a couple days before. But she's sitting there and she's by herself, knowing this is like the slow time of season, and it's like she shouldn't even be here by herself. Like, this is easily like the moments where he's like, okay, you're supposed to have this moment. But of course, we know Tony just doesn't, it just don't compute for him. But Meadow says Hunter came in the city with Hadley. My question is, what kind of names are these, bro? Meadow, Hunter, and Hadley. What kind of names are these, dude? Who raised you?
Come on, man. You know, that's a whole different life.
All right.
I was just say,
I just had to poke fun at it, but yeah. Anything else I gather from this, like kind of this wholesome scene between them two for a moment?
Yeah, Jackie Jr. full of shit. Had to go to the hospital. Someone from school. You can see it kind of leading up or building up. Then I think this is the same night that Tony runs into him, if I'm not mistaken. So yeah, he's going to be at the hospital right now. They didn't really point that out. They didn't want you to peep at. So yeah,
100% the same night.
Chris, Silvio, and Tony, they're at Vesuvio's, and I think this might be our first shot from like the bar. I don't think we've seen a Vesuvio bar shot as far as them posted up there. I don't.
Aid and when Aid put her 2 weeks in.
Yeah.
Great pool. Okay.
Or her last night in. This
okay. You're right.
And then later with the French chick.
Of course, yeah, that's dead.
Yeah.
I cannot wait to
Martina. I think it's Martina. It's like Martini, but it's.
Hey, Artie, one of my favorite characters.
Artie is great.
Artie, one of my favorite characters, man.
Bro, we love Artie. Pick and roll on Artie, boy. Like, he was in the mix.
The pick and roll is crazy. Like, they were definitely, that's crazy. Pick and rolls.
Pick and roll on Artie.
They definitely got a smooth.
That's exactly on the island, boy.
Bro.
That's exactly what they was doing, man. Between that moment and then the moment with Benny, them moments are like, come on, man.
Artie, I love Artie. Like,
Benny versus Artie is high on my list. His favorite
of rivalries, that's up there for you. The rivalries.
Oh my God, that's high on the list, nigga.
I'm just picturing Benny coming up to this nigga crib like, oh, what the fuck is you doing, man? My wife in here pregnant. Like, what the fuck is you on?
Nah, bro, it ain't. It's on site. Like, it's on site, bro. Straight up. Like,
oh man,
those are great episodes, bro.
Man, I can't.
Shit.
Y'all bear with us. For those that are just watching the series through it, we do our best to not spoil.
Y'all gonna get it.
I hope y'all appreciate us not giving y'all really any info. But when y'all watch it all, that give y'all a reason to run back these episodes to catch some of the jokes we were saying prior to. But so yeah, we see they're already, Sil and Chris are already there, and Tony pretty much is about to go give her jacket. This is kind of different. I guess it's what fine dining is. I don't think I've ever been a place where they hang your jacket up for you. So I don't know. Maybe I'm a
you never been nowhere with a coat check? Yeah, you ain't never had a coat check?
Bro.
Jesus, bro.
Oh my goodness.
The way my bank account is set up.
No,
it ain't even that type of thing, man.
I don't even know. How much is the plate for those places?
But that's a Vesuvios, man. That shit.
For y'all.
I've been to clubs where they check your coat.
Yeah, I go to concert, Bogarts in Cincinnati, bro. It's a concert venue. Like one, it's like a House of Blues. It's like a House of Blues type of space. Dinner spots.
Yes, I've been
That's
to
just
dinner.
Yeah, most restaurants.
Yeah, like a dinner or a date, or like
That's
even if you eat by yourself.
If you eating by yourself, it's different. If you got a girl there with you and y'all like got drinks and appetizers and shit, I'm talking about maybe $200. Nothing crazy.
Yeah, definitely ain't been in that. That's expected. I mean, it's not I'm at the age where it's not like crazy as far as you're gonna go expensive, but it is crazy. Like,
no, it ain't. No, you shouldn't be doing that every night.
All right,
like,
hell no.
But like, it's date night and we going out for like this the first time this month or something. Yeah, like coat check.
I'm gonna do that, man. I'm gonna go broke at the restaurant one time. I gotta do that.
Don't go broke. Have a nice meal though. Have a nice meal. Just get you.
Don't go broke.
You know the food ain't gonna be banging like that. Like it's
that's some places like that, man. Some places down here in Atlanta, like it's worth it.
I know, man.
It's worth it.
It's so packed out there, bro. I can't even. Like, it's ridiculous.
I'm gonna take you to House when you come down here, man. It's a nice steakhouse.
Well, you remember I'm vegetarian now, so you gotta do some real Google.
Yeah, I forgot. Never mind.
You had to find a cauliflower steak or something.
You gotta take them to slutty vegan or something.
There you go. Hook it up. Yeah. Hook it up. But Tony tries to compliment Charmaine, double down on it, and just trying to be nice. She gives her the jacket, and she basically like, bro, you can keep it. It's all your fault that basically Artie is being the way he is. This pissed me off. But before I speak, one of y'all, please, what does she mean by this? And what do y'all feel about what she said?
Well, it comes up later, but the little foreshadowing, she's really talking about the tab that they run up when they come and don't pay. Like, this is what's pissing her off. She sees the bottom line of their restaurant is not going. Like, it could be doing better. I ain't saying it's doing bad, but it could be doing better, especially when you got Tony and them probably coming in a couple times a week, running up $1,000 tabs and not paying them. So I think that's what she was referring to, and Tony was just kind of offended by it. Like, the reason that it's popping in here slickly is probably because we be in here. Like, that's what I took from it.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I looked at it. You were able to look at things from Charmaine's perspective. Like, she doesn't like Tony. I think they made that very clear. But the fact that she says, like, I've never said anything out of respect. I've never wanted you guys in here. To her, she was showing restraint. Like, I would have been dogged y'all every time y'all walked in here, but I showed restraint out of respect for Artie, which we don't think she does because we see those moments between them two, but she does try to practice that. But yeah, Spike's absolutely right. You guys are in here, wild turkey neats. You just walked in with a $50,000 sapphire bracelet, but you can't pay your tab to Artie, your so-called friend. You can't break him off on that night, then I know we're a little bit behind you. Sure, if you want to work on the tab system to do that, but you got to kick back, especially if you're coming in for all this big boy shit and it's the holidays.
Mm-hmm.
Like, I'm tired of this shit. I ain't with Artie right now to hold my tongue anymore, so fuck y'all. And that was probably never her vision. She's a partner with Artie. Her vision for Vesuvios is probably a fine Italian dining. It was never to be the mob hangout.
Definitely. By far. All right. Y'all sold it. I get the sentiment.
I want to hear your issues, because you can still probably be valid. Charmaine got a certain way about herself.
Okay, dude, that's where I'm going.
She could have presented it a lot better.
She got a way about herself.
So that's where I'm going. The reason Artie is like this, okay, Charmaine, let's not do that though, because it's like you ain't like look at the problem. While we're talking about this, I'm gonna get back to the tab thing because I think y'all made some really valid points. But like you're not really supportive like that. You're really controlling. You nag, and then it takes y'all to get separated for you to actually dress sexy when he asks you, can you look a little better when we got customers? So why you worry about the mob guys coming in not paying their tab? What are you doing as his wife, as his partner in business? Like you give him a hard time. He can't even go out and have a good time. They celebrating their daughter's soccer game. They won. He's at Vesuvio's and she rushing him home to finish painting. Like he can't even have a good time for a moment. You so scared this dude's gonna end up in the mob or something. Like, you know he ain't built for that. Now he crazy, and we'll find out a little more about how crazy Artie is. Speaking of the jokes we were talking about, but he was never going to be in the mob. He was legit, but you could have softened the blow some. But I mean, I get it. This is probably one version of an Italian woman. There's all kind of versions, just like all kind of versions of black women and all women. So it's just one version of that. But it's like you saying putting it all on me like it's my fault. Nah, you need to take a look in the mirror, bro. Like that is my issue with Charmaine. It's like, I think they started, I don't know if they did or maybe it was just a progression, but like she's a lot better of a character later in the series to me, because I don't know what happened maybe in the writing room or progression or the getting back together or whatever it is, but it bothers me so much that she never takes accountability for her part when it comes to things. And she always, like, anytime you want to have a good time, she shuts it down. Like, think about it.
I think that she thinks that Artie is lucky to be with her. And I think this is the type of relationship that you get when you have a woman who feels like that she's out of her man's league.
You think she thinks that?
She feel like, yeah.
What?
She
Absolutely.
feel like she can go get Tony Soprano. I'm dealing with Artie Bucco.
But I don't even think she looks at Tony Soprano like he's Tony Soprano. She looked at him
not
as
even looking at him
Tony
like that.
it.
But
like,
she looks at maybe not that way, but she does know his stature in society. She knows how much of a powerful man that he is. So she's thinking that that's where she should be playing at versus down here with Artie. And it comes off that way. That's how I read it.
My biggest beef would have been, if I'm Tony, my biggest issue would have been, you were just in my face laughing and joking. Even though we ain't cool like that, you were just kikiing. And now you got a big fucking attitude. Like, where's the middle ground? Like, damn, like, what happened? Like, how we just get from that to this?
Exactly.
I just gave you a compliment. You look good. Well, don't give me a compliment, man. If you don't get the fuck on.
Bro. Yeah, her character is just, I mean, because we talk about tabs, right? She's right. Like, it's just Christmas time. It's the holidays. They're going broke because of the mob guys. So I'll give credit there, because we are using our stock. Like, we got products we're giving y'all, we're feeding y'all food that we got to pay back out of our money that we're making. You know what I mean? So that does put them in debt, especially around the holidays. Stressmas, you know what I mean? So I do get that, but what about when that man wanted to go fly when Tony was trying to give him a trip because he knew the old Vesuvio was going to get blown up? Let that man go take that trip. You know what I mean? Or because it's like, oh, he going to owe Tony. He already giving Tony free meals, the whole mob. And then it's like, oh, would Tony want to help fund him to come up with the Vesuvio sauce? You like, I mean, like, bro, I'm trying to get some kind of, it's crazy. Like, I get it because she wants to stay above board and it all makes sense. But it's just, she's just such I feel like there could be more of a middle ground with Charmaine. She don't have to be a doormat, kind of like how Carmela has been at moments, but she could find a middle ground. And her character.
She thinks she's saving Artie from himself. She know the type of personality he has, so she thinks it by her being that way, as you know, your better half, complimentary partner, whatever you put it. She's the one that has the more sensible thought process. She know how Artie can get, so she thinks she's saving him. That's how I read it.
You may be right. You may be right. There's a scene later in the series where Tony says, "Oh, don't start with that, Artie, because I know how you are. You start thinking crazy things." You know, even we got that scene earlier. It's like, I don't know. I just think about murderous vengeance thoughts when you're talking Father Phil. So yeah, there's definitely a part of Artie that's interesting. So Seal says, all right, well, let's go check out the competition. They leave and go check out the spot on 46th. And the competition spot, let's just call it the Bada Boom. And they're getting to it with the drinks. And the Christmas music is playing. And Seal says, he ain't say nothing. He just did this smooth little move, like the way he peeped the scene. I mean, this was so good, dog. He didn't say a word. He just tapped Tony on the chest. Check this out. because they ain't going, bro. Because Steele's a father too. You know what I mean? So it's like, nah, bro. I'm gonna throw the ball in your court first, Spike.
I think you should start this one. You the father.
Start?
Okay.
All right.
I think there are gonna be some differences of opinions here. So you start.
Really? Okay.
Maybe so.
All right. Dang, because I really want to see where y'all. Okay. All right. Well, I'm
you speaking from experience. If you were the dad in this situation, what would you have done?
Okay. And if I'm in a mob or I'm a gangster, something like that. All right. So.
Well, you just want your daughter to be respected, I'm assuming. It don't even matter what type of.
Yeah. He is jacking him up. Sorry. I'm looking at the clip on the side. He grabbing him up crazy. Stole on him. Put your hands up, Cloud. Like, dude. He was whooping Jackie crazy. No, he's on point. It's like, bro, I seen you at the gambling spot. I didn't see you at the Bada Bing, but we as viewers would know he was at the Bada Bing. I know you ran that racket with Chris at the college. You keep doing these things. I seen you when you pulled up with your uncle holding the umbrella, Richie. Like, I told you I don't want, if you're gonna be, now it's real. I told you. You're dating my daughter. Like, so now you're sitting here, which there's an irony to all of this. You're sitting here with this stripper on top of you, and she's all up in your grip. And I had you in my house. You came to Carmela's birthday. I was selling Carmela on the fact that you and my daughter was together. This bloodline on some Game of Thrones stuff is Spike referred to. I'm selling her on the idea that this is a good thing, and you making me look crazy right now. Now I got to put hands on you. Man, you're a man. You're a grown man. So now I got to put hands on you because I love you. He chastised him because he loves him. I'll get more into it. But there's an irony that Tony is doing this, but Tony probably was exactly the same way. That's the other side of the whole thing.
And I'll jump in there. Being very hypocritical. Like you said, man, Jackie a grown man, bro. And Tony, even though he wants to, and I understand the motive, you can't save Meadow from like what's gonna happen. Like she got to experience that for herself, just like Carmela was telling her with Noah. Like the more you push, telling Tony about Noah, the more you push, the more she's gonna lean into that relationship. So even this with Jackie, it's very hypocritical. And again, I don't have kids, so maybe I would see it differently if I had a kid to protect or whatnot. But this is the same shit that Tony do. He just sitting there getting a lap dance. And then if you go to the casino, okay, I'm just sitting here gambling. It ain't egregious to the point where the nigga seen him out on a date. That would be way more egregious to me because it's just some stripper, bro. I'm getting a lap dance. Like, this is what men do. It would have been more egregious if he had caught him in the act of actually doing something. So I really didn't track with this, with him saying he bottomed out and all. Like, the gun was a little much, especially if you expected him to be in school at Rutgers. I could see him being disappointed in that. But the rest of the things, it's like, bro, he been a 20-year-old man. Like, what do you expect out of him?
100% an emotional decision. And that's what it comes down to. Because if this is anybody else, you hang out with a crew of niggas that do this to their wives every single night, every other night. And you're not trying to beat them up
for your Christmas.
Yeah. So it's not about that. It's about the fact that this is your daughter that he's doing it to. So that's why that's where the emotion comes in. Now, are you right to do that? Sure. Like, that's your daughter. You don't want to see her get played. But also, if you're looking at it from the surface, like, what you really gonna say? What you really gonna do, man? I mean, if somebody wanted to, if Carm had a brother and he's saying you all the shit you do, how would you respond to him coming up trying to slap you around, put hands on you? Now, that's Tony Soprano. It probably wouldn't happen like that. But it still remains. He would be doing that because you're disrespecting my sister. You're disrespecting my daughter, somebody I loved. Like Sil said, she wasn't related to you by blood or marriage. Jackie's crossing that line. And in Tony's defense, I set you down in Satrial's, poured you some wine. I made it very clear what my expectations were. If this is what you're going to be doing with my daughter. And imagine if Tony knew that he told her that he has going to see a friend in the hospital and then caught her. That's even worse. So I think from Tony's perspective, it's just, I told you this is what I expect. If you're going to be with my daughter, you better be the model fucking citizen. If not, then that's cool. You don't have to be with my daughter. But you can't be doing this and be with Meadow. Like, I don't want some stripper's titties in your face and then you go home and try to kiss my daughter. Like, that's not going to fly. But 100% hypocritical, has no right to even be saying this. And I think he owes it as, I told your dad how good of a kid you were.
Mm-hmm.
I think there's some of that in it as well. Like you're more than just a dude dating my daughter. I've known you your whole life. You Jackie Senior is one of my best friend's son.
Mm-hmm.
I have some kind of paternal protection or responsibility that I owe you, especially with your dad not being around.
Mm-hmm.
Like you stop it. Like I see where this is going, and over the next couple episodes, we see how it goes for Jackie.
Mm. I'm gonna go right into the next thing because I think there's a through line connection there. When Tony gets up in the morning and Carmela begins to break his balls about that season 1 bar drop that Charmaine had about them two sleeping together. It's a very interesting thing because you probably either Jackie's age or maybe a little younger when you actually cheated on Carmela at that point where you wasn't mobbed up and you slept with Charmaine. So it's a funny thing with that. And then even now it's like, Tony, you don't even have a Gumar. You're having an affair, bro. Like you're in love. Like you are all in with her on the side. So but again, I understand, like, yeah, I get that, but this is my people. This is the way I want. It's almost like do as I say, not as I do type of deal. And I mean, Jackie, you can't have it both ways. You have the wrong mob guy to do that. Like if Ralph had a daughter and he was doing this and Ralph caught him, I'm pretty sure Ralph wouldn't have made a fuss about it. He would have probably been on his side. Like Ralph seemed like that type of dude, but Tony's not that type of guy. Like you're not going to do that.
I think Tony is to a certain degree. We saw Jackie at the illegal gambling spot. He ain't smack him up then, even though he didn't want him there. I think this had everything to do with Metal. I've had this talk with you. You told me you understood what I said. Kind of like what he said, Patsy. Don't say you're sure if you're not sure. That's a Tony character trait. So you told me you were sure. You told me you knew what it was, and now I'm catching you doing this shit. It's not. It's 100% Metal, man. This is it. Yeah,
you know what I'm saying?
That's all it is.
Because you look at like a Richie, right? How he felt about Adriana. He was like, "Hey, you put your hands on her. You put a ring on it first." So it's the realm of how much I'm willing to let you do is so far, as long as it's these things. You know what I mean? So I feel like if it's anybody else, it would be different. But Tony, the fact that this is Tony Soprano, it's totally different, bro. But Carmela, she's going in on Tony early in the morning, banging the pots and pans, and
it's 11:30. It ain't even early no more. It's 11:30.
It's 11:30.
11:30, nigga.
Is that late?
Yeah.
Sleep's almost noon. 11:30. That's crazy.
I'm up way early. Bro. I'm just trying to figure out. 11 is a hard gauge for me. I never really know.
Nah, sleeping to 11 is crazy.
Probably because you don't know anybody that sleeps. I guarantee you right now, if you was doing your day-to-day shit and somebody just said, it's 11:30, I just woke up. Like, what the fuck was you doing yesterday?
Okay, maybe so.
Yeah, like what? What you mean you just get, especially when you say you up early, you probably been up at it 5-6 hours. Like, what you mean you just now getting up? It's almost noon. College kickoff about to start. Like, what?
Yeah, you're right. That's a good call. But she's breaking his balls about, the whole thing with Charmaine, and I think she's well in her right here. But what did y'all think about this interaction this early?
Man, if you don't get the fuck out of here with that high school shit.
Her right with some high school, then we 40.
No, hold on, bro. I'm gonna figure out. It's more than just the high school part.
Yeah, because we just talked about this with Karen's parents bringing up old dude. Like, I've been married to Tony for 18 years. Why are you bringing this shit up? Right. We've been married for this long. Why are you bringing up Charmaine from high school? Like, what are you talking about? And Tony was, she put out the energy that Tony brought in. Mm-hmm. Nowhere. I wasn't anywhere last night. I was a poster child from Monopoly. Yeah. He was on that trash, so that's why she went there. But if you bring that up to me, come on, I'm laughing. I'm walking out the room. Get the fuck out of here.
We're way past that. Like you're not going nowhere. But I do think she says a line that's a pivotal one that she'll hold on to. She says, "I don't believe anything you say," and I think that she's going to navigate everything from those lenses at this point. That high school thing is old, but what it put her at today will hold a tremendous weight.
It's interesting how she even got there, though.
Mm-hmm.
Like I've always had a problem or had trouble understanding like what made her get there in this certain situation. Was it the holidays? Like Tony being out late, coming in smelling maybe like women and pussy from being at the Bing. Like this isn't anything new. So for her to make this declaration of I'd never believe anything you say and to bring up the Charmaine stuff, y'all think that she really thought that he may possibly be still dealing with Charmaine and that's why she was looking good? And
no, I didn't think that.
You think that?
I didn't think that at all.
I
What
don't
was
think.
her
I
anger
think
coming from? Other than
no. I think it's. I think there. I honestly think it's a part of her thinking. I don't think it's 100%.
Hold on, did I miss something? Say that. I might have misunderstood. Did you say, do I think that Tony was trying to get with Charmaine, or does Carmella think that Tony's trying to get with Charmaine?
does she think that? Yeah, do you think that there was something triggering it? What triggered this
Oh yeah,
conversation is what I'm trying to figure out.
when you've been lied to, and you have these. Usually, when Tony sleeps that lady, he comes in late. It's because he was out doing his dirt,
Right?
and there's that understanding.
Yeah.
And now in my head, like, don't come to me talking to me about how good another woman looks, especially somebody that I know you had some history with. I don't care how long ago it was. I'm sure if we flipped it, Tony would have said something to Carm. Tony's Vic. I saw Vic. Vic looked good. You said the same Vic from high school. You was trying to fuck that dude. It wouldn't have been that way. He wouldn't have taken it to the level Carm took it, but it would have been a slick little comment. Man, fuck that nigga.
Yeah, and you pulling up at you see her face all the time. You see her all the time.
Yeah, I think it's just the fact that she doesn't. You said it, Mo. I don't believe anything you say. So now everything's in question, and when everything is in question, you just in a world of hurt. You can't do nothing. You at the point of no return at that moment. So yeah, I think that in an indirect way, yes, Spike.
Fair point.
She found this information out for 2 years ago.
Yeah, just bringing it up.
Yeah, so it's she held it for this long, so it's a very interesting thing how they
on brand for a woman. Y'all can hate me if y'all want to. Y'all can hate me for saying that if I want to, but that's so on brand. That's why Tony looking with that confused look like high school.
What you mean, Rich?
How you even know about that?
What do you mean?
What you mean? What I mean?
Like that's on brand. What do you mean?
Holding information, just waiting for the perfect moment. I'm in the mood to fuck up your day. And that's exactly what I'm about to do. I've had this information for 2 years, and it's petty bullshit information. Obviously, to the point where you weren't even mad enough to bring it up when you found out about it, and now you bringing it up at Christmas. I'm fucking waking up with a hangover. Just had to whoop up my daughter's boyfriend last night. You don't know what the fuck I've been going through, Carmella. Shit. And you talking about some old high school shit and Charmaine, I'd have been confused. Like, what? I might have finger banged Charmaine once or twice back in 10th grade.
I might have.
Yeah, we talking about it at my family home.
Right.
Well, I've been married 18 years.
No,
yeah, man.
Like, what are we doing?
I mean,
I'm in my role, man. I got the mots. Like, what the fuck are you talking about?
Right. I'm drinking apple juice. I'm getting my sobriety, method going this morning because I was at the Bada Boom last night.
You think I'm out here fucking Charmaine? That's what I'd have turned and looked at her. Said, you think I'm fucking Charmaine?
Right. What do you think?
That's what you think?
Yeah. Melfi and Tony, he talks about Jackie and Meadow and the fact that she's not dating that Oreo cookie anymore. I mean, sheesh. All right. Time out.
Get one on Noah every time he can.
Can we have a moment now? When do we start to get on the writers here for like really extending this joint? Like, because at this point we don't need any more Noah references, right? When do we get on the writers?
That's the thing. It fits.
It fits. But are they Quentin Tarantino with it? Like, are you kind of getting a little happy with you extending the slur? You kind of getting it off. We way past that fact now. We probably 5 episodes after. So that's probably, I don't know how much time, you kind of extend that. We didn't need that. It's funny to us, but when do we start saying, all right, writers, y'all kind of, you know what I mean? Like, we got all that.
I think this the last one. I think this is the last one.
Okay.
And it worked just to show you how much he disdained that relationship. Yeah. Like, his disdain for that relationship was like, every time I get a chance, I'm going to shit on it.
No, it's funny. I love it. I mean, I'm curious where you have to start breaking the fourth wall and saying, all right. What are we doing? We have to keep it black here. That's just how it goes. But he was just talking about how he's being two-faced, and it's funny because that's literally what Tony does. So Melfi brings up, she says, I don't have nothing to go off of, but I've been watching certain things on TV and film about your friend that was working with the feds, and he immediately walks out. What is that about?
Wait, before that though.
Okay.
Look that Melfi gave Tony for for complaining about what Jackie had going on,
Mm-hmm.
knowing that she knows that
Mm-hmm.
he's fucking Gloria right now. That was priceless.
Mm-hmm.
That was classic Dr. Melfi. That was great face acting right there.
She didn't even
100%.
answer him. She didn't even answer the question.
Yeah,
Like, what
she
should I
was
do? Like,
bro, get the fuck out of here. She gave him a get the fuck out of here face, like, and left it there. That was good. What was the question, though? My bad.
what was the walkout about exactly? Like, what specifically? He brought it up earlier, but now she brings it up. He walks out.
I don't want you paying attention to the news and asking me shit about what I tell. Like, I really want you to forget that shit when you walk out of here. Like, I can't trust that you wouldn't go to the police, or if the police came to you, that you wouldn't mention this. Like, I'd like if it comes up, I'd like to be the nigga that mentioned it, not you from some news clippings that you seen trying to get more information. So I'm gonna dead this right here, let you know that ain't even cool.
Yeah, and I ain't trying to talk about this shit. Tony, I think in any relationship, sometimes you bring something up in the moment, or even let's put it on a different level. It's Monday. Your homie say, hey, man, this Saturday, we going to link up, do this, and this. All right, bet, man, yeah. Saturday morning come, Friday night come. We like, hey, man, I don't feel like doing that shit. Like, I ain't going to hold you, man. I had a long-ass week, man. I got to get some time to catch up with myself. I said it on Monday because I was in the mood on Monday. Tony said he brought that shit up because it was directly on his brain. He had to get it out. Now that I got it out and I'm sorting through it with the, the rest of the crew and everything else, and I'm low-key tired of thinking about this shit, because I got the answer to why or how, when he flipped and everything else I was underlying, I don't want to talk about this no more. So I'm about to get up and just walk out because I got better shit to do anyway.
Yeah,
just because I brought it up once don't mean this opens, like Spike said, it don't mean it opens up the door for you to bring this shit up casually in our session. Like, I don't want to talk about that shit. So I'm gonna make an emphasis as to don't bring this shit up ever again.
Tony was sloppy. He was sloppy there.
And based on Dr. Melfi's face at the end when he walked out, it almost seems like that's what she was aiming for. I know this is a triggering thing. So you sitting here bullshitting me, this Jackie Jr. bullshit and being judgmental of this dude because you're doing the same thing. Let me bring up something that I know is gonna piss you off.
Yeah, you're insulting my intelligence.
But I know that you made a mistake in even mentioning this to me. Let me bring that back up. And then she had this look of satisfaction when he stormed out.
She did kind of have like trying to hold a smirk back. I swear it looked like that. Yeah, that was just really sloppy to me on Tony's end. Like, I don't know why he even went there, and that wasn't even a necessary piece of information. So he had to take a dose of his own medicine there. But yeah, we go to Satrial's. There's a big old line outside, and it's so interesting. A deli shop becomes a Christmas spot. Only in the Sopranos world. So they're getting everything prepared. They got the gifts lined up. Bobby Bacala is getting dressed in the Santa outfit, and they're trying to get him together. And they said Paulie says the suit is still too small for Fatso. There's a lot in this scene. I think we get the flashback. Big P walks in. He's already faded and drunk. Sits down. He's trying to get some info. And the minute Chris interrupts, he breaks the jukebox or whatever that. I don't know, a cigarette machine. I don't know what that was in the back, but he breaks and says, "Stop interrupting me." First, I want to ask, what do y'all think about this flashback scene, and then we'll go back into the real time Christmas moment.
As far as the flashback scene, I enjoyed it mainly because I've been saying it all episode. I like how things have been going. I love the tension between everyone. It shows that Pete isn't in his right state of mind, comes in faded. You already in the outfit. And I love the attention that Tony pays to it. Like, he's a method actor. He's trying to get in character like Hal. Like, we knew right away that this was odd. And I think that's part of the things that's bothering Tony right now in present day. We saw the signs that were weird. We just gave you the benefit of the doubt. And it's a direct tie-in. When we get to season 4, episode 1, Tony's having a session with Melfi, and he mentions, like, there's a retired gangster in Florida in his 80s that never got any issues because all he did was talk to his family, his blood. These flashback moments give you an idea of how it got to that point for Tony. Like, I can't even talk about, I need to pick one person to speak to all this business shit about to protect myself. Because I'm here he is, this motherfucker in a wire, in a Santa Claus suit, asking me questions about some shit that we already done discussed, blah, blah, blah. You know, even what was my man's name they killed in season 1? That Chris got in the hotel room. And he thought they was gonna go see the hookers. No. He was
Jimmy.
Jimmy's in the scene too. Yeah. So when you think about it, it's like, all right, then now we get to see it's kind of planting those seeds. Now I see why Tony's so attached to Chris and wants Chris to be right there with him, because that's somebody he views as family and needs to get this information out, because they can literally be right around you. There's 2 people in this one room that was working with the feds. On top of Ray that we already know get caught up. And also I mentioned last week about we get a young Jackie Jr. This is that actor's younger brother in real life that plays him.
Because I was like, bro, it looked like him, but it don't.
It did.
It looks like him, and I'm like, man, this is a little bit too early for the CGI movement. Like, CGI was around, but I don't think Sopranos would have used it other than what they needed to do with Livia. But this is an actual real life younger brother, and obviously they look alike, and it worked out perfectly. So that's how they got the young Jackie Jr. Image.
Wow. I mean, they look just alike, bro.
Yeah, man, that's that. Hey, man, that brother shit, man. I don't have any, and that's the one thing in life that I love my family. I love my siblings. I always would have loved to see what it would have been to have a sibling that looks just like you, because you got the same mom and dad.
Yeah, I get it, man. I get it.
Like, we look similar. Don't get me wrong, but that same mom, same dad. Yeah, you could tell. I look at my aunts and uncles, my grandparents' kids. I'm like, hey, that shit crazy.
You're right, though. You're right. What do you think, Spike, about this flashback?
The flashback, like you said, they could tell something was off, but being that there was a friend, I'll say it again, the love is blind part. That was a friend, so they really didn't know what it was. And then, as Rich so perfectly stated, it's Jimmy in there too. He flipped as well. And you start to understand why Tony is the way he is in later seasons. Also, what I picked up on it for is the reason Big P was able to pull it off is the charisma that he has. You see how good he turns it right on with the kids, and how like everybody's admiring him being Santa Claus versus going right back to Bobby being a Santa, and he's like arguing with the kids. He has none of the charisma that Big P has. So as a viewer, we get to see, okay, I see how P could pull that off. So
it's very good because right here they're caught slipping, right? As far as, because I don't know what year it's necessarily supposed to take place when the Sopranos actually began, you know, as far as the end time of where it was, or maybe it was supposed to exist in the real time of when it was shooting. But we're in 95, and it's very interesting because they talked earlier about P putting them back on the streets immediately, you know, versus when we get to season 2 and P been gone for a while. That makes so much sense on why I always talk about the quote, there have been glances, while Tony started looking at him side eye, because he was so good here. He came right back to us, and we really couldn't connect all of the dots to say he was doing anything, because it was just enough in and out of the snitch element. But when he was gone for that long, there's no way Tony could. There's no way. Like, he's like, there's just no way. So this is really dope to make you see these scenes and then go back to season 2. Like, I think this is a perfect way to say, okay, run back season 2 and look at P now. You know what I mean? So I don't know. It's just a very interesting thing. I think Jackie Sr., he was super gassing his son. It shows that Jackie Jr. really still wasn't that intelligent then. It's like, tell him what you told me in the car. What's the capital of Canada? Like, bro, are you kidding me? Yeah, it's crazy. So it's like, what?
They mentioned it too earlier when they were on the boardwalk about how Roe found him a tutor for his SATs. Like, I think they were trying to point at that. They wanted to do well for him, but they knew Jackie would. I guess the SAT tutors ain't the craziest thing.
That's why I was like,
I ain't give. I'm gonna take the test. We're gonna see what happens.
How I was. Yeah, that's definitely
one time. We one and done.
I'm about to say ACT, SAT. I know people could take them up to 3-4 up to once.
Yeah, straight up. Then we get back to real time, where we see now Bobby Bacala is the Santa, and we get the little boy that pulls up, and he's like, "Hey man, you were just here 5 minutes ago, bro." Like, I'm telling you, he's like, "No, I wasn't." Yes, you was. F you,
Fuck
Santa.
you, Santa.
Fuck you, Santa.
Hey, this is your man's. This is your man, Spike. He getting
That's
cussed out by
man's.
kids, by a 7-year-old.
Thanks.
This is.
I would have did the same thing as Bobby right there. Little nigga, you been up here 3 or 4 times. Get off my get the fuck out of here, nigga.
Get off my
get out of here. So I respect Bobby for this, man. Like he said, he was too shy to do this shit anyway.
Yeah,
he ain't got the personality for it.
Yeah, I did like that Silvio came through and chastised the little boy. They're like, you don't talk that way to Santa. You go over there and apologize. Yeah. So I really like that little thing, because they still got to be fatherly in a weird way. So it's a real good scene.
Yeah. Did y'all ever peep in the wide shots? Did y'all ever peep Chris getting weak? Well, not Chris, Michael Imperioli. In real life, you ever peep him just getting weak?
Like
in both of those wide shots? Yes. When that kid say "fuck you, Santa," they do a wide shot of everybody doing the left side of the screen, covering his mouth, and then right when he sends him, right when they send the kid back over to apologize, you see him again, like really getting weak. It was an unscripted laugh.
Oh, where he got his hand over it.
Yeah, they show it twice. That one, and then the second one, when the kid goes back over to apologize, they do another wide shot, and you can see him really laughing, like, "Oh man, this shit's silly."
Oh, man.
I'd have been the same way.
Dog.
I'd have been the same way, man.
That's even better because it's like Sopranos. David Chase such a perfectionist. You always think he wouldn't have left that in, but I'm glad he did. But man, I'm telling you, Shy, this is a curse. I really felt bad for Bobby though. Like they definitely made us. That's why I didn't understand him later. But
one of my favorite parts of the scene when Tony comes up and says, "Hey man, what's going on? I need you to." I told you I did not want to do this shit. I'm shy. This shit ain't for me. I don't know how to do it. Don't come up to me and get mad when I told you already this shit wasn't gonna work out well.
Yeah,
this is not my bag.
Shyness.
I appreciate honest. I appreciate when people keep it a buck and say what they can and can't do. So I listen to them when they say it. Nobody listen to Bobby. Yeah. And now here y'all got. I'm dry ass Santa. Fuck you, kid, man. Get out of here. Like I'm arguing with the kids. I don't give a fuck about this.
Yeah. Anything you want to add to that part of the scene, Spike?
Nah, that's perfect.
Okay. The aftermath of Satrial's, they're now upstairs, and they're reminiscing a little bit more about Big P.
Said they don't send that nigga to Santa school.
Send him to Santa school is crazy.
That's a real thing. You know that?
I believe it.
That's a real thing.
I didn't know burger school was a real thing. When I used to work at McDonald's as a teenager, there's like a burger school.
That's crazy.
Crazy.
They got man, listen, they niggas be hustling niggas for money. Shout out to Caesar and Envy, man. They'll find anything to teach. They'll find anything to teach just to get that bread,
crazy. Bro. What a call back. Those that have come across this podcast much later, when this is just legendary and it's out there, they're gonna be like, "What is he talking about?" Like they're gonna have to go back in time to remember the current events of the time. But that's funny. What a pull, bro. Man.
Santa school is not charging a nigga to teach him how to be Santa is fucking insane. Paying it might even be crazier.
I listened to a podcast about it. It's a whole it was an economics podcast. It's a whole school. They go graduate. They refer them to jobs and shit. They do that shit all year round.
That's wild.
Get ready for December.
Wow, it's crazy. But they're reminiscing about P. And Paulie's keeping that same energy. So Tony's kind of challenging him on it because he never shown once that he cared ever about P. So he says, "Okay, well, why'd you go to a psychic last year?" He's like, "Well, Christopher was shot. That was a paranormal event." Mm-hmm. And I thought it was a very interesting thing. That seems like Paulie kind of starts to let up a little bit, but what he says, like if we had, I almost thought about a category for us at some point, like having like the best quote of the episode, because there's so many good quotes on this one. But
I'm going with Oreo cookie.
That would out immediately.
Oreo cookie is it?
Oreo cookie is crazy, but
usually any kind of racism usually wins it for me.
Usually wins it.
I don't know what that says about me, but normally that's the
we like a creative diss. You know what I mean? I guess we like a little. But he says that he's finally reveals that like P was like a brother to me, man. Like, and he did what he did. I mean, I'm not gonna say that line. That's super pause right there. But yeah, like, I mean, y'all want to say the line? Anybody? Or?
Nah, man.
Nah, y'all good. Okay, I just checked, man. We want. But yeah, like it's just I like that they're kind of coming to a conclusion on that story, and it never was spoken out loud, really. You know, we got a little bit of him dealing with it on Funhouse, but we never got the full thing, and I like how they've dealt with that thus far. And even Seal, being as a tough guy as he is, he said nobody make a great Santa like him, though. You know what I mean? So, what did y'all think about this scene, this aftermath of Satrials and everything?
Shows the power of getting it out, man. You can tell the difference between who's in therapy and who's not. You know, Tony dwells on things a lot more because of that, I'm sure. If it wasn't for Dr. Melfi, he probably wouldn't even think about it. Or if he did think about it, it wouldn't be in the same vein. You know, he's starting to see therapies helps Tony look at things from different angles and try to figure out the rhyme to the reason. And you see that with Paulie. After the whole episode, we finally get enough of him from going to I never think about him to, you know what? I love that dude. That's why I'm hurt. That's why I carry all this anger with me anytime his name's brought up, because I never expected him to play me like that. Like that was my dog. And I'm hurt about it. So just for him to release that and get that out just shows where they are, and they have feelings, even though we stone cold gangsters. I don't care how tough I play it. I don't care if I step to Bobby saying you being Santa Claus, all this stuff, man. I still have my feelings. And it's detrimental for me to express them in this lifestyle that I live. But if I get a moment like this, sure. Let me tell you why I'm hurt.
Clean that up.
Well said.
Clean that up right there. And our last scene of the episode, Sopranos house. It is now Christmas morning. They're getting ready to open gifts. AJ gets another sweater again.
Then the scooter was for AJ.
Yeah.
Come on, you know that scooter was for AJ.
Bro. Nigga in high school getting a scooter is crazy.
You think so?
Yes.
If I'm AJ, what happened to that car you gonna get metal last year, man? Where is that? Like, let me run.
I'll take Eric's car, whoever the fuck he is.
Yeah, I don't know that nigga.
You're not putting me on no scooter in the 9th grade, bro. I'm ready.
AJ probably wanted it.
Nah, you like 14, 15 though. You like 14, 15. You can't drive yet.
15. I had my permit at 15, bro. I was out learning to drive.
I mean, AJ, he's probably. I mean, he could be 14, 15, but I mean, people still skateboard or people still bike. Like it ain't that far out of it. Scooters seem like a really kid thing, but it's not really that far out of it. Like he hang with skateboarder dudes. It's probably on brand. I know what you mean though. Like you like, bro, you should be trying to big dog it. But that's us black people. We sometimes have to grow up faster. So we're always kind of let me get a job early. Let me get a whip early. Let me get my own place early. That's kind of the culture of how we grow up versus them. It's like they're afforded a little time. Yeah, so that's kind of on brand in my opinion, but I get where you're coming from though, no doubt. Especially him driving now, him riding it in the house is nuts. That's dog. That is crazy riding a scooter in the house. But Jackie Jr. pulls up and he comes bearing gifts.
Balls on this kid.
The balls on fucking Jackie Jr.
Balls
bro.
on this kid.
He's stupid, man. But he pulls up with the gifts. This man ain't even here for Meadow, bro. This man is here for Tony. He's coming in and I love how they do the shot with them two looking at each other and Tony in the middle, and he's looking at him like, bro, I can't stand your freaking guts. This guy over here, he's kissing Meadow and everything, but he keep looking at Tony like trying to sell him on it, and Tony has already washed his hands of him, really. They go in the kitchen and have a conversation.
Wait, though.
Okay.
Even before that, Carmela's so shady. Like she looked at him almost like, what are you doing here? He asked, could I come in? She never says yes. She just like, we're just opening presents and walks off. Like nobody really in the house fucks with Jackie Bemetto.
Coming on Christmas morning is crazy. Like it's just crazy. Yeah. Like showing up at Christmas morning, like people don't show up. Everybody know there's an unwritten rule. You opening gifts. We don't show up and start calling
deal with people
and
outside your family till after 12, right?
After 12. Come on.
Facts.
This man is dumb.
That is a fact.
And especially after Pops just whooped the head of the house just whooped my ass.
Yeah. Facts. Like Pops just popped, bro. Like, so what do y'all think about this conversation in the kitchen? He finally, tries to be honest and tell him like, look, I flunked out of Rutgers. I want to do the men's fashion thing. That's what I'm on. And Tony's still kind of like, bro, I hear you, but I don't even know what to do with you. You really are dropping the ball with me right now. What do y'all think about this moment though? Like, do you think Jackie was trying to turn a corner, or he's still lying?
He's still lying. Jackie
Yeah.
full of shit.
Trying to save face, man. I personally I was confused. Jackie, what the fuck you on, bruh? I feel like I've been saying it all season. Like, what the fuck are you doing? Mm-hmm. First of all, you come to the crib unannounced. You come during Christmas morning. And you know I got legitimate beef with you. You smiling in my daughter's face after I just saw titties in your face. Second, you just told me that you flunked out of Rutgers. Out of nowhere, out of the blue. Like, why bring this up now? Why? Shout out to why not?
Yeah.
Like, why the fuck are you bringing this to me on Christmas morning?
Yeah.
Like, why is everybody trying to ruin my fucking Christmas, bro? Like, what is y'all on? He told him straight up, man, I'm gonna be frank with you. I don't know what to do. Like, I don't know what we're gonna do with you. And I heard the trigger word. You bringing up Ralph. Ralph said this. Ralph did that. Ralph was making money at this age. Okay, then. I see what type of time it is. Mm-hmm. That might get you fucked up even more because the fact that of all the people you could have, going to for questions, you go to Ralph. Like, all right, bet. Like, you disgust me. This is the moment that you officially, I had to put hands on you because you playing my daughter in the bathroom. Now in the kitchen, you officially disgust me. Mm-hmm. Like, I don't want to do it. You nowhere near the person I thought you were. Mm-hmm. And you see, quick to turn to hit him with the, oh, yeah. Oh, you can't stay, Jackie? Nah, nigga, I'm out.
I know Tony was happy he was out. Yeah, I agree with what Rich said. It's like the level of disgust that Tony has for him, and then Jackie ain't saying none of the right shit. Mm-hmm. None of the right shit is coming out of his mouth. Like not being in Rutgers anymore, wanting to be a fashion designer, citing Ralph for advice. Like, bro, get out of my house. Get out of my house and don't call my daughter no more, bro. Like that's what, like, that would have been more comforting probably than Tony saying I ain't decided what to do with you yet. Nigga had to leave with that on his mind. Now you got to worry about how Tony Soprano finna handle you. Yeah,
yeah. Hey Mo, you need to make a meme with Jackie saying all this stuff to Tony and this, with the Fresh Prince of Bel-Air thing, whatever mix page. Yeah, and it's just Master Jazz getting thrown out the house, man.
Oh yeah, let me screenshot it.
Yeah, man. Go ahead, Jackie saying all this shit, saying this to Tony. I don't know what I'm gonna do with you. The next thing you know, Jazz is flying.
Oh,
that's what I would have done, man. Get the fuck out of my house, bro.
That's good.
Yeah, I might have to. I don't know. I might have to chop a video. I'll figure out which way to go with it. But that's. Thank you for that. I just took a screenshot.
Hey, real quick side note, because I didn't tell you, Spike. I was talking to Mo, and I'm like, man. Unfortunately, we lost the legendary Richard Roundtree this past week. Yeah. And I was telling Mo, man, you should have taken one of them clips, like, oh, Shaft, and had a picture of Richard Roundtree with the RIP.
I missed the ball. I dropped the ball on that one, boy. I swear.
Ooh, Shaft.
Shaft, yeah. That line is great. Lastly, we get Tony gives the gift to Carmela. She's excited about it. She shows Meadow. They kiss really intimately. Then Jackie kisses Meadow intimately. But literally, it's like Jackie kisses her, then he's looking back at Tony again, like you trying to get this. You trying to get this fake. Like, we're gonna see, because we're closing here, but we're gonna see, like, Jackie still has a different idea of what he thinks things are. It's only when he does that phone call at the very end, that we find out this is finally when the realization kicks in of this is really who I am. Y'all know the scene I'm talking about. So it all the way up until that point, though, he still has a different idea of how he thinks people view him or what he's actually getting off. But they get that kiss off, and then Meadow says, I got a gift for you, Dad. He's like, I wasn't even expecting this. And he seemed like he really almost was about to shed a tear, because it was like, wow, we've come a long way since you was dating the Oreo. But now we're here. He opens the box, and what do we find? Big Mouth Billy Bass. Why? Great call back to the Georgie scene, to the Paulie and Chris scene, and now we got it again. And of course, Big P anyways, $3.99 a pound. All of that is just a perfect, even a transition with the water, the wavy part of it all. And Tony handles it pretty well. I know he's burning up inside, but I'm surprised he wasn't about to pass out. I'll be honest. That seemed like he was gonna pass up. But what do y'all think about that last sequence of it?
Bro, you could have got me anything but that shit, bro. Like, not even take away how it reminds him of pussy. Like, bro, that's oh, I'm at Walgreens checking out from some old shit I already had. Let me grab dad a gift because it's sitting right here by the counter. I would rather not eat. Like, just
right.
give me a card or something, bro. Yeah, I that's all I took from it, to be honest with you.
Okay.
Nah, that's real. Like, after all we've been through, I'd have probably appreciated a handwritten letter, just saying something. You know, I know it's been a rocky year, but you're still my dad, whatever the case is. Like, I know they've been talking about online the black people trait of, why do black people fill out cards, right out in the car outside the event? Because we just bought them on the way there. That's what that was.
No.
Like, I bought this on my way over here. I
stopped it more personable.
I wasn't really thinking about you like you think I was thinking about you.
Yeah, and I love how AJ was amused with it and all that kind of stuff because he's his child.
All right,
last
question: what gift was worse, getting Carmella the Matrix movie or getting Tony the Big Mouth Billy Bass?
I would say the Matrix movie because we really have I have never seen Carmella watch TV. So, well, let's sit down and watch a movie. That's later on that she gets into her movie bag when they had that movie club. So, even with this one, like, she thought it was funny. She know her dad's sense of humor. There was some thought of it. Like, she didn't have any idea that it tied in with pussy. But the Matrix movie was wild. Like, that was a wild gift to get your mom.
Carmella's in the movies. We do know that. But
not yet.
Well, remember with Father Phil?
Oh, yeah, they did watch the film.
She was in the Father Phil. She wasn't in the movies.
All right. I agree with Spike. I'm going Matrix too. Because, I mean, their dad does have a boat and he does fish. So that seems like there's some thought there. Rich? Which one you think is worse? Did you think it's the Matrix movie?
Matrix movie, man. Because AJ grabbed it and just at least metal wrapped her gift.
That's true. Well, that is our episode. But before we get out of here, we got to leave y'all with some rankings because that's what we do here at Good Earners. So before we get out of here, Spike Lou, how do you rank this episode?
This episode is a good earner. It's a good earner episode.
Okay. What kept it from
being
made?
It wasn't made because, again, not a lot happened towards the storyline. But that's one of the great things about The Sopranos is this world is so vast and there's so many different stories to tell. We can have an episode like this with flashbacks and nostalgia and holiday, one of the typical holiday episodes that this series do, and nothing really happens per se in the overall timeline or scheme of things, but it was still enjoyable because we're in the world. We're seeing how the Sopranos do Christmas. So that's what still made it a made episode for me.
Okay. What say you, Rich?
This is a made episode for me, and it's 100% selfish reasons. 100% selfish reasons. Everything Spike just said is what my normal response would be. This wasn't even a Christmas episode. But you have a lot of things that I personally enjoy: Christmas, nostalgia, all of that, and it started to lay some eggs to some things that we're gonna see. I agree with Spike. It's not really a ton of action. Like when we get to favorite scenes and moments, or not anything that's gonna blow you out the water. But for me personally, the nostalgia part of it. That's why I love this episode. I'm gonna be all the way real. We get Jackie Sr. back. We get to see for the only time what it would have looked like, or what it did look like when Jackie was in charge. It made me wanting more. I wanted to know more about the Jackie and Junior beef, him getting passed over, what went into that, how that fully came resolved. What happened when Junior came back from Florida? Was he able to have a pretty amicable relationship with Jackie? How did things tie? You know what I mean? All of that. How did Tony go from just capo to, all right, this might be the guy who's going to be in charge once it's all said and done with? All of that just laid out, made it for me. But if I take out my personal interest in it, it is a good earner.
Yeah. It's made for me too. I mean, there's no flaw in this episode. Nothing. They didn't waste anything. There wasn't no unnecessariness to it. Everything was neatly tied in. I was going to ask earlier about why didn't they show Tony and Furio whooping taxi cab rushing driver, but then we get the pull back on the Janice scene. Like everything was perfectly knit. Everything. And then this had to be probably during sweeps week back in the day because they gave us like so many characters, bro. You got Artie, Charmaine, you got the main mob guys, you got dead mob guys, you got, only people we didn't really get was Carmela's family. Like we get so many characters in this episode. So it's got all the flavors. It's got the sexiness, it's got the funniness, it got a little action with whooping up Jackie Jr. We got all of the elements to make Sopranos great. So for me, by far, it's a made episode. I'm playing this again when Christmas comes. Quote me on that.
I see that.
Yeah. Spike, who gets the Good Earner Award?
Good Earner Award for this episode. I'm about to go with Charmaine, man. Looking good, smelling good, talking sassy.
Yeah.
She was in her bag this week. So
yeah,
I'm about to go to Charmaine.
Okay. What about you, Rich? Who gets the Good Earner Award, man?
You know what? We'll go with Dr. Melfi, man. Dr. Melfi just had some fun with Tony. The same way you come into my office every week and you play around with my time. Let me fuck around with you a little bit. I know we're supposed to be here, but I'm just gonna I take my job seriously. I'm gonna take a little bit of time to fuck with you.
That's a good one.
Yeah, I think that's gonna be my choice.
Okay. It's gonna be a weird one. I'm going Bobby Bacala.
Okay.
Bobby Bacala had to do. He got a real order to do something for the boss that was outside of Junior. I know it's not that big, but this is a thing that's going to help his trajectory. And he had to do something that he was very uncomfortable with, which are obviously a lot of things they do in the mob. So I'm definitely giving Bobby Bacala being Santa. I'm gonna give him that. He didn't have a long moment, but the moment he had, it was good. It was priceless. And dealing with the curse of being shy, he still got through it. So, who gets the Broken Balls Award? Spike Lee.
That Russian cab driver. Nigga got strung up and put in the storefront. I can't think of his name right now, but he probably thought that he got away. Igor. He probably think that he got away with that Janice situation, and now these two gangsters in the back of my cab beating the shit out of me. So yeah, I'm gonna go with him. And it's Christmas time. He finna be in the hospital for Christmas.
Yeah.
So, yeah,
that's crazy. You on the news for the wrong reason, bro. What about you, Rich? Who gets the Broken Balls Award?
I originally was going to say Tony, right? Just because he just was not able to find any joy or peace anywhere you went. And that's one of the main things that you want, regardless of what you do. When the holidays come around, you can usually bank on at least a week, maybe two, a little bit of peace, a little bit of calmness, a little bit of stillness, and all that. But also, I think that you need Tony for where he is as a character. He needs those type of moments to reflect and think and really get in touch with his feelings to kind of get a better understanding of who he is. So I don't think I would have said that if he wasn't in therapy, but since he is, I think his L's are kind of necessary in this episode because they're all coming back to a big decision he made and a big part of his past, which is Pete. Even the way we end the episode with him getting the big mouth Billy Bass and looking into the ocean. So I'm not going to give it to Tony. I'm going to give it to Artie. Artie had a fucking rough go at it. I couldn't imagine breaking up with my wife, let alone your girl, your wife, and being out here. And like, A, I'm not going to get anything like that again. And B, she can do whatever she wants to out here. Like the people she make fun of all the time, they out here drooling over. Drooling over because she got the right area to dress out. She just looking good. She got the little attitude with her. Yeah, man. And then him just mocking her, looking through the glass, seeing her do all this stuff, mocking everything she's doing. And already taking some L's, man. He a little bit upset. Still getting ready to take it out on him on behalf of his wife.
That's a good one. I'm going low hanging fruit here, Jackie Jr., man. Yeah. You thought you were having a good time going to the Bada Boom, and Tony pulled up on you and he worked you in the bathroom and he took your strap. You pulled back up and you thought it was sweet and it still wasn't sweet.
Getting worked in the bathroom and your strap getting took is crazy.
That is crazy. I still don't know, but it's like just enough out of the realm of pause. Like, I don't know. I mean,
That's funny.
But that is funny. You're right. So yeah, Jackie Jr. And lastly, before we get out of here, Spike Lou, what is your favorite moment from this episode?
Man, this one is real subtle. Nothing really happened, but just Carm taking it all in front of the Christmas tree. Like again, you said that too, more like that. That's one of my favorite things. The fireplace going. You probably got you some eggnog, hot cocoa. Like it really puts you in the Christmas spirit. The music in the background. I don't know what they put on us to make, but it gives you that real nostalgic, proud. Like I'm happy to be here, proud of my family, happy for my family. Yeah. So that I got that from that scene.
Now that's a great scene, bro. Like that. That's
great example.
That's a fire one.
Yeah, and it's a great example of the things that Tony wasn't able to do.
Facts.
Yeah.
Take it in. Exactly.
Take it in like that. Yeah. What about you, Rich?
Overall, I'm going to say the nostalgia scene, the throwback 1995 scene, specifically the meeting, even though we just get it's barely, but them handling business, Junior coming in with Gigi, getting ready to sit down and talk about whatever it is they need to talk about. But just as a singular moment, the grabbing of the hand from Tony to Seal. When Tony was about to, I know your wife's ass improved, and Tony just, hey, take it easy. There's something about that, just knowing your friends, knowing where this is about to go, and let me just get in front of this early. Like Tony picks and chooses when he's going to intervene, and that was one of them. Like, take it, come on, man. I'll see you. Chill out.
Yeah, for sure.
That man going through it right now. He got a separation going. Relax, man. Take it easy, yo.
Yeah, that's really good. Mine would be like the Christmas conversations in Saxon Hours. Like just like I talked about, like I would love to be able to do that with the guys. Like that, not really even the Bobby moment, but just the moments leading up to it. They're kind of thinking about stuff and they're talking about movies and they got the drink out and they're getting prepared for the Christmas joint. I really love that. That's right up there, honestly. I was probably gonna go with the same as Spike, the Carmela watching the tree, but that's right up there too. That build up, just them being late in the season of the year and time being off and they're trying to get in the Christmas spirit. So I really enjoyed that, man. So yeah, and that is our episode. If y'all want to reach out to us, goodearnerpod@gmail.com. It'll be in the description, as well as on Instagram, goodearnerpod_Sopranos. Y'all can DM us there, or you can just get your meme fix every so often. I throw something up there that's kind of funny, so y'all can check that out as well. Go on our YouTube, subscribe now. Y'all want to watch the visual? I try to do something creative every week, from using us and putting us on one of the televisions in the episodes. So y'all can go look at that, leave comments. It's doing well over there. Or y'all can subscribe, leave a rating on iTunes as well as Spotify. Sometimes I throw questions in Spotify, so y'all can respond to that. But we appreciate y'all. We got a lot of things going on, but all of that will be in the description. So we thank y'all for tuning in again. And remember, don't forget about it.